outstanding achievement by the Millington football team. You know, most of them, you have family in here, loved ones, and we're here to celebrate something that it's taken a long time for Millington to achieve. And you know, what better group of kids to finally, you know, get us over the hump and get us to Ford Field and make a lot of people's dreams come true than this year's senior class and juniors and all of the kids that came up, the freshmen, sophomores, when we told them at the beginning of the year, or they started the playoffs, if you're going to come with us, you got to stay with us, and it could be 5 weeks. And sure enough, it was 5 weeks. So I just want to give a kind of a outline of how the night's going to go. You know, banquets are. We wanted to make this banquet special. You know, not that having them in the cafeteria at Millington High School is not special. This was something that these kids have worked really extremely hard for, and you as parents are very proud of them. So this is kind of like that moment, you know, when they win a spelling bee or something like that. You get to show off your kid, and we wanted them to. I would say Truck never won a spelling bee is what Joel just said. I heard him. Don't laugh, Landon. You never did either. Landon Russell. Now I'm starting to act like Mr. Dantine. Now I got to stop that. No, but seriously though, I mean, you know, I had people, how dressed up do we need to be? I don't know. Wear your Sunday best. You know, just it's not. You know, it's just to kind of pay respect to these guys for all the hard work that they've put in this year. You know, it just hasn't been this year. It's been since they've been 8 years old, 9 years old, and you guys as parents taking your kids to youth football and doing all that great stuff with these guys, and it shows. You know, we were at a banquet the other night, and some of the coaches, they were all state champ coaches, or they were in the finals, and the one common theme that they kept saying about their players was that every one of the teams was selfless. Selfless means, you know, that the kids, they weren't out for individual stats, they weren't out for individual glory, they were out for team. You know, they wanted to go down as legends, and that's what they are. They will be known forever as, you know, the first team to ever win a state championship for the Millington football program. As storied as it is, as many winning seasons as we've had and all the great teams, this was the team that did it. So tonight we're here to honor them. So I'm going to kind of just walk you through the outline. You know, I'm going to read what I wrote, so bear with me. Hopefully this season has meant as much to you as it has to me. This season was truly magical. It was everything that I dreamed it would be. Coming into the season, I felt this team had something special about it. Our prior teams would also work very hard in the offseason, but this team had something different about them. It was as if they were on a mission and nothing was going to stop them from achieving their ultimate goal. We had over 45 players every day in the weight room all summer long. They loved working hard in the summer. They truly enjoyed being around each other and pushed each other on a daily basis to become the best version of themselves. This is a true testament of the leadership and commitment of this year's varsity team. It was like nothing we had experienced before. It was amazing to watch a group of young men all work so hard for the same common goal. These boys truly earned everything that they accomplished this year. You know, some people, well, they got lucky. No, they didn't get lucky. You don't get lucky and win a state championship. You win a state championship by working hard. And in years past, all our teams work hard. They do. But like I said, this team here, they just had something different about them. It was just, they had that look. You know, when it started with that, I think they said it on the highlight there in 12:01 when we had that midnight practice. People are like, why are you doing a midnight practice? We've never done that. Well, these guys wanted to. They wanted to do things their way. As coaches, we just kind of step back and let them just, you know, do their thing. And we've always tell our guys that the best teams are the player-led teams. When we have to interfere too much as coaches, you're just not gonna, you won't be as successful. But some of the year's accomplishments. We were back-to-back district champs, which made it 10th overall in our school's history. This was our 36 straight years of winning seasons. That's the longest active streak in Michigan. I think we're 2 or 3 seasons behind, breaking the all-time consecutive winning season records. That's a lot to be said. That's just a tribute to all the guys that have come before them, and we preach history to these guys. We have our, you know, in our locker room, we have all the former teams and their pitchers, and you know, we just let them know that those who have come before you have kind of laid the foundation. Now it's your turn to go out there and you know, cement yourselves. This year's team scored a school record 525 points, which is 40 points per game, and gave up 99 points. which is an average of 7 points per game. We outscored our opponents by 426 points. When you stop and think about that, that's pretty outstanding. 426 points, we outscored them. We had back-to-back regional titles, which gave us our 7th regional in school history. We broke the school record for wins in a season with 14. This year's team was named Thumb Team of the Year for the 4th time in school history. The previous years were 17, 21, and 23. This is another one that kind of blew my mind a little bit. This year's senior class went 26-1 over their 2 years on varsity. They lost 1 game in 2 years, and that was to Jackson Lumen Christie in the state semifinals. Just a real tribute to these guys and all the hard work that they've put in. And finally, we will be celebrating the first ever state championship in Millington football history tonight. So let's give these guys a round of applause. Yes, there's always been a big debate, that I'm involved with, and if sometimes it's over a drink or two. I talk to our coaches hangout, the Millington Inn, after Friday night games. But the debate of who had the best team ever in Millington football history, the debate is over. For years, people would argue back and forth which team was the best. Was it the 91 team with Slough and myself and Horde and the Legion of Doom? I hear that all the time. Or was it the 94 team with Mike Horde and Mike Smith? The 99 team that lost to Country Day 10-7 in the semis? Or any one of the teams who came close to reaching the mountaintop? Now we know who the best team in school history is, and it's the 2024 14-0 undefeated Division 7 state champions. Yes, that's so it's quite the accomplishment. And for some of us, we're still, like Coach Dantine and I, we see each other. He'll text me, dude, I still can't believe we won the state championship. And I'm like, I just watched it. I'm like, you've watched it? That's the 3rd time you've watched it today. And he's like, I know. It's awesome, dude. But it is. I mean, when you spend as much time as we have, and we have some loyal fans here that don't even have children, but they're here tonight to help celebrate because they bleed red and white, and they know all of the heartache and everything that goes into what we do, and to be able to finally get there is just, it's unreal. But we are also here to celebrate some team accomplishments and some of their individual accomplishments. We're trying to, we do have some individual awards, but this banquet is more about the team. I'm sure you've all heard Bo Schemblecker say that, but it is true. We do have some individual awards that we're going to give out for team awards. If you pick an MVP of the team or a this or that, well, what part of the season are we talking? There's different times. Different guys stepped up and were the MVP. And I think if you asked any of our players, they would say, no, this guy was. If you said you were the MVP of this team, they'd be, no, he was, or he was. That's not what this team was about. That's when we go back and circle back to the selflessness. That's what made this team so special. They did not care who scored the touchdown, who got the tackle. They didn't care as long as they advanced in the playoffs and continued their dream. Okay? But before we get going on this, I want to give thanks, and it's quite the list. It's 2 pages of thanks. So bear with me, please, but this is important that people are recognized for their contributions to the Millington football program. First is our varsity coaches. We got Al Posey, Jim Henderson. Jim Henderson's not here right now. His granddaughter's birthday was today, and family comes first. So he will be here hopefully, but he's just not here right now. Coach Gary Gillum, offensive coordinator, Steve Beauvais, O-line coach, and Lindy Dantine, our defensive coordinator. They're all here tonight. And the amount of time that they put in, I was blessed to be awarded a Coach of the Year in some different publications. I'm like, really it was. I had nothing really to do with it. I call myself the Dr. Phil of the team. I kind of try to keep the peace and keep this boat steering in the right direction, and those guys do all the work. So I guess give me the Dr. Phil award for trying to keep sanity amongst us. But those guys do all the grinding. They do all the work. And it showed this year. Our 8th grade coaches, Ethan Brady, I know he's here today. He come out for the playoff run with us too and did just an outstanding job. I'm getting old, and there's some of us that are getting pretty old, and it's no doubt in my mind that he will be joining the staff and full time here soon. And I know he's a heck of a basketball coach. We like basketball, but we know where it's at, right, Ethan? No. And I do want to mention Wes Volwheeler. He's another one of our 8th grade coaches. He's not here this evening, but I wanted to make sure I mentioned him. Our JV coaches, Brant Slough, head coach Don Cobb. Don couldn't be here tonight. He had some work issues. Ralph Farr, Scott Reed, Jeff Rivard. Christian Zalik could also not be here. He had a family gathering in the Upper Peninsula that was, you know, when you try to find a weekend where everybody can be available, it's near impossible. And I told him, just go be with your family. We're going to be okay. But, you know, Christian does a lot for the program as well. But our JV coaches, our JV team had an outstanding season, undefeated, and you know they're doing well when we bring up the kids for the playoffs, and they're just clicking. And they, you know, our JV coaches do an outstanding job, and we're very blessed to have continuity at our JV level. It's a great thing when you got you know, guys that have been down there for 15 plus years working with our kids, and you can trust them, and we're kind of hands off. They do their thing, and they just keep winning, and the kids are prepared when we get them. So thank you, JV coaches. Some other unsung heroes that are real big contributors to the program: my son Drew, Travis Cooper, Matt Brady is in the house tonight. My brother-in-law Mike Matuzik, who couldn't be here. He's probably in like Bangladesh. I don't know. He travels the country, or the world, I should say, China. So, but those guys do a lot for us. I mean, little things like, you know, Matt Brady shows up and takes down the tunnel. I mean, he's a grown man, but he don't care. He just wants to be part of it too. And Drew and, you know, Cooper and Coach Brady are down there tearing down to blow up so that our kids can have that Friday night experience. So thank you, guys. Our film guy, where is he? Brian The Rock Glady. There he is. The Rock. You know, we love our Brian Glady, and he loves us. He's everywhere, guys. You know him. We got the banner in the school for him, and thank you, Brian, for all you do for us. Our trainer's Lynn Mora. Lynn's not here. He couldn't be here, and I was kind of upset, but he told me was going to be in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean on a cruise. So I said, okay, we'll let it slide. And then our man Terry Bishop. Terry's right over here. Terry's the guy that takes care of your kids when they're hurt, they're injured. He's, you know, I wouldn't trust anybody but our guys. And Terry, he's told me that this was his last year and that they're retiring. And no, he's not. But we'll talk later, Terry. You're not. I'm at least talking into doing home games for us. But thank you, Terry, for all you do for our program, and we really, really appreciate it. Our end zone film, Russ Williams. Russ is over here with his beautiful wife. Thank you for all you guys do. Russ, thanks. Running the end zone camera is just a thankless job, but it's so, so valuable. If you've ever seen, we all know that Coach Dantine's kind of, how should I say this? He's a lunatic on the sideline sometimes, but he's screaming, and my son Drew is the unfortunate one who has to have the tablet. It is, where's the tablet? And Drew's like, it's right here. It's not working. And Drew's like, oh my gosh. But he's getting all of the film from Russ, who's running the end zone camera, and it's quite comical to me, because I'm like, sorry, Drew, it's better you than me, buddy. So I just take it. My son Brody come and did it for like one half this year. He goes, forget this, Drew. You take it back. I'm done. I was like, yep. Dr. Phil, I'm here. But no, it's good. But thank you, Russ. We appreciate it. Our sideline film crew, which is Coach Tank and Tiffany, for the hours of memories that you have captured on the sidelines for these players. These highlights and videos will last a lifetime. Thank you for everything. I don't know if they're here or not, but they're the ones that they put these little videos out, and they've been doing it for 3 years. They don't get anything for this. They just show up and they do it, and they pop these out. And at first I'm like, why are they doing this? And it's like, oh, all right, it's cool. But trust me, guys, when 10, 15 years down the road, when you guys get together and you're sitting around and you flip on YouTube and you watch some of these, you're gonna really, really, really appreciate these. And you don't appreciate it as much now, but you will. Trust me. So I appreciate them. I wanted to thank Jordan Sackman, affectionately known as Sack Daddy, for doing stats for us. You know, Jordan, we appreciate it. He's with us. Ben Richardson, he couldn't make it here tonight, but he was also another fellow that took some film for us and created videos for the players that they're going to have forever. Kevin Streeter from Thumb Audio and Video. All of our games were on YouTube this past season. The fact that people from all over the country could watch our boys this year was amazing. Kevin has the entire season on the flash drive. If any of you would like to purchase the drive, let us know. these highlight videos he's put together. They're going to be on there as well. It's just memories you can't get back. You just can't get these memories back. So I would encourage you to get those and just have them. You know, I still go back and watch my son Drew's from his senior year in Brody's, and that was back in 2019. So trust me, get it if you can. Doreen Worth is here, and her husband Bob. Doreen, for coming up and taking pictures for the team. This is something that we're very, very thankful for, and we appreciate everything that you do for us. So thank you. It's been great. You take fabulous pictures, and like I said, you know, I played back in 1992. I think I have 2 pictures for me playing football. These kids, they walk out, and there's flash bulbs everywhere, but they should, you know, appreciate that, fellas. Appreciate it, because back in the day when, you know, I played, you didn't get that same treatment. So thank you, Doreen. Brandon Banks, he's here also tonight. Thank you for creating a highlight video for the team this year. He came to most of our games and took pictures and videos of the boys. He put them on TikTok, and those are awesome, guys. And the kids really appreciate that, and I wanted to make sure that we thank Brandon. He also put together a highlight video. We're going to watch that during dinner here. But thank you, Brandon. Ann Tricky, she's not here this evening, but she's been taking pictures of these kids since they were in like the 3rd grade, year after year after year. So, Ann Tricky, thank you for everything that you do for us. Appreciate it. Scott Bowlesby from the Tuscola Advertiser, thanks for your outstanding coverage of our team throughout the year, both on the radio. Excuse me, my nose is running here. Broadcast with the news and with the newspaper. Thank you for all your support. I think where is he at? Right over here somewhere. Or he's right over there. Thank you, appreciate it. We're also lucky to have Tom Green from the Huron Daily Tribune. Thank you for all your behind the scenes work with making sure our players are recognized throughout the state of Michigan. Sometimes I think that, you know, Millington and the other thumb schools get kind of overlooked. And Tom Green made sure that did not happen this year, because he was involved in Associated Press voting, and he's going to present some awards for us tonight. He'll get an opportunity to kind of go over that with you. The Millington Boosters, thank you for everything you do for our program. We have the best booster program in the area, hands down. What they do for our kids is truly amazing. From our volunteers, for tickets, chain gang, announcing, clockwork, it's just an army of people that come back year after year after year. And we could not have a successful Friday night without the people that make it work. To my mom, Grandma Susu, for preparing meals for these boys every game day since 2016. How she puts up with them, I don't know, but she does. She does. Jeff Peters for getting the smoke machine and the CO2 for it. Thank you. That was an added touch this year. Where's Jeff? Thank you. Thank you. That was awesome. I'm like, Autumn was like, can we do this? I'm like, if you want, I don't care. Just, I didn't think she'd pull it off next thing. Oh, there's a smoke going. I guess you guys did it. Let's go. Only thing that made me nervous is it burned a hole on the grass the one time, and they're like, can we bring it into the gym? I'm like, probably not a good idea. But then again, we do like football, right, Ethan? I'm sorry. I'm full of one-liners tonight. I want to thank Mr. Dubzemski, Mr. Vroman for maintaining our field. We actually had people say when we watched your game film, we thought you had a turf field. And I said, nope, that's just how our field's amazing. They do a great job. Melissa Wilson, I know she's here. Where's Melissa at? Right over there. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa she does a lot for us. She's from running our spirit fence every year. And we get so many compliments on that. People come in and they'll just say, what did you guys just do? No, we do this every year. The cheerleaders, the players, they all get a space on there, and thank you. And she's, we could not go without mentioning your Mexican taco night that Coach Stantine looks forward to, and he loves that. So thank you, Melissa, for all that you do. Some of our sponsors, Whitney Insurance, McDonald's Chevrolet, Willow Springs, Roots Heating and Cooling, Millington Boosters, Don Felipe Mexican Restaurant, ShopRite of Vassar, Worst Market, Knockout Realty, the Beers Foundation, and many more. And I'm sure I missed some, but please don't hold that against me. Thank you for the continued support. It's amazing that year after year these people step up and help us out. Thank you to the band and the cheerleaders for their time and dedication to the program. In order to make a Friday night a true high school football experience, we need the band, we need the cheerleaders, and we need the team. what we have on Friday nights in Millington is pretty special, and it takes all three of those to make it a true Friday night experience. So thank you to the band and the cheerleaders. Our Moms Club, Heather Turbush, Autumn Peters, and Mrs. Dennis, thank you guys for everything that you guys have done this year. And I know there's probably some other moms in there, and I know there was, but thank you, thank you, thank you. Our Moms Club is truly amazing. They feed the team, cheerleaders, and coaches each and every week. To say our boys are spoiled is pretty much an understatement. The meals each week were fabulous. I mean, we're eating Chipotle, we're B-dubs. I'm like, come on, this is like, these kids are, but you know what? Guys, your parents love you, and that's what they want to do is they want to, you know, make sure you guys have the best of everything, all right? When we would travel, we had drinks, snacks. We went to Ford Field. They all had their own personalized goodie bags. It's you know, just unreal, and for that we're appreciative, and thank you so much, Moms Club, for all that you do. And then I'm almost done with the thank yous, and then we can get to eating. I know you guys are ready to eat. But a special thanks to Taylor Dantine. She does so much for not only the program but the entire community. Every year she does playoff shirts, awards, posters, banners for seniors, senior gift, just about anything that happens behind the scenes. It's not Mr. Dantine, it is Mrs. Dantine. And trust me when I tell you this. And I don't think that, you know, I was hoping she could be here, but they flew home, but not flew, I mean, literally drove home from Indiana today. And so Mr. Dantine can make it here, and she's just exhausted. She's been with her kids, but, you know, she doesn't do it for, she does it for one thing, because she loves our program and she loves you guys. So she's irreplaceable, and make sure you guys are thanking her, all right? So make sure you guys thank her. And I told myself, there's no way I'm going to get emotional tonight, and I won't. So hold me to that. I've already had some, you going to cry tonight? Well, you know me. No, I'm not going to. Not. This is a celebration. And then the last one. Thank you to my wife, Angie, for putting up with me and my mood swings. And I'm kind of a moody person. And all the other emotions that she has to endure during the season. In case you haven't realized, I can be a little high maintenance. And through... Now I feel better. She's at least smiling. And through it all, my amazing wife, Angie, sticks by my side and loves me unconditionally for who I am. Thank you. And there they are. And there they are. So, hey, I know we're all getting ready for that, getting ready to eat. I need Coach Beauvais to get up here and give the benediction. And then we're going to have... the people from this amazing venue, they're going to come over and give us a little bit of information about what we're having for dinner tonight. So, but first, let's go ahead and get our prayer out of the way.
Well, at this point in time, would you please bow your head for the blessing? Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to come together today to celebrate our championship program. We ask that you bless the food that we are about to eat. I would also like to thank you, God, for all of the lessons that the players learned throughout the year, for keeping everybody safe. And I also ask that you continue to utilize us as an instrument of your will, now and forever. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Martha Zender. My family are the owners and operators of the Bavarian Lodge and Restaurant. And it is so wonderful to have you all here. I don't know if you know this, but pretty much everyone in Frankenmuth was rooting for you guys to win. And it is wonderful. You're 14 and oh my gosh, to be the state champions. We are just so proud that we can even be just a small part of it this evening. So thank you all very, very much for coming. You have a wonderful menu that you'll be able to enjoy this evening. In just a moment, we will be coming and bringing to you our Lodge House salad. It has an oil and vinegar dressing on it, and so we'll bring that to your tables, and then you'll notice we have 2 double-sided buffets on either side. So Eric will be coming to your tables to escort you to the buffets, and on the buffets, we have for you our garlic breadsticks, buttered corn, our variety of blend of vegetables, our whipped potatoes and gravy, Bavarian Inn buttered noodles, always a favorite. And you can't be in Frankenmuth without having our famous Bavarian Inn chicken. So we'll have that for you as well. And then for dessert, we will come and serve to you our Bavarian Inn rum tort. But also there is some cupcakes and a wonderful cake that was brought in. So we will be leaving some plates and utensils. So if anyone would also like to enjoy that wonderful Millington Congratulations cake, we will have that for you also. And a little something extra. My brother Michael and I, we wanted to do something for all the players and, for the families that are here today. So when I get done talking and as we're serving salads, I'm going to be going around and to give all of the players and the students and families that are here a game card to go downstairs and to play in our family fun center. And you can use that at any time. If you don't want to use it today and you want to come back at a future time, there's no expiration, but just wanted to have a little something as a congratulations from the Bavarian and Zender family to all of the players, that you guys can have some much deserved fun for whenever it fits for your schedules. So in my family, before we eat, we always say Guten Appetit. I wish you a very hearty appetite, and gesegnete Mahlzeit, and a blessed meal, and we will come to serve the salads to you momentarily. Thank you. Enjoy.
Seven, state champion, one from the homeland of Tuscola County, as the Millington Cardinals come in here 24-0, almost a home game for Monroe St. Mary Catholic Central.
And that was pure dominance.
I think we're going to go ahead and get it going here. The kids do have school tomorrow. That is, if it's not too cold tomorrow.
There's that trophy.
And they can enjoy this one.
I'm going to tell you, when we used to go to school, Turbush, when we would go to school, it was like 10 foot of snow, 40 below, and we would still go to school. These kids today are just wimps.
The coaches, the players, the fans.
Yes, uphill both ways.
Thank you, players, for the ride.
Absolutely. This has been.
But it's going to be cold. But I don't think so. Probably not tomorrow, but maybe Tuesday.
Advertiser Wednesday, going to have the All-Thumb volleyball team in there. Next week after that, going to have the All-Thumb football team in there. Again, Millington 24, Monroe St. Mary Catholic Central 0.
Okay, so
State champions.
We're going to go ahead and get the second part started. Maybe if we, yes. Thank you, Kevin. So this second half of the program tonight, we're going to go ahead and recognize our cheerleaders, recognize some student athletes for their individual awards that they've earned, as well as the team for all their hard work, okay? I mean, before these guys start, I just want to make sure that, like I said, this is a team sport, but there are some people on this team that did earn all-state recognition, and I don't think we've ever had, I think the most Millington's ever had prior to this year was 4 in 1 year. We had 9 kids receive some sort of all-state recognition, from honorable mention all-state to first team to, you'll see more of them, but 9 kids earned some sort of all-state recognition, and that's how you get your picture up on the wall in the hallways there. So we're going to have 9 new photos put up there this year. Not to mention the all-conference, the all-region, and all the other awards that these guys have worked so hard for. It just doesn't happen by accident. It's because of their hard work, and it's because of you as parents that have raised good young men. And I did want to touch on this real quick. We ask a lot of your kids. We ask a lot, from Saturday mornings to helping do things. We're not just trying to create football players. We're trying to create young men that want to be servants of their community and help and do different things, from festival cleanup to rail trail cleanup to whatever people need. We were helping a lady who had a car accident right before, a couple months back, but she was able to finally move into her new apartment. She needed some help moving stuff. So who'd she call? She called Coach Santine, and we got some kids together and we helped out. So, but that's what we're trying to teach these guys. It's just not all about football. It's about being a better human being. And these guys, you guys have done a fantastic job raising your children, because these guys are fine young men, and it's been a joy coaching them. But so I want to bring up Molly Ewald. She was our cheer coach for the football season. So let's give a round of applause for Molly Ewald. And if the cheerleaders could come on up too, that would be fantastic. Come on right up here. And when you come up, just stand right over here in front of this table right here, please. There you go, Coach.
Hello, everyone. I'm Molly. I was the cheer coach for the 2024 season. I just wanted to start to say by saying how incredibly proud I am of the Millington High School football program. Not only did we have an amazing band to work with this year with so many songs, they even incorporated many new songs that I know the cheerleaders loved, like Hot to Go. But they just were always there, always keeping the crowd excited, and I appreciate them more than they know. I'm also super grateful for our entire football program, from the coaches and the teachers that helped them to the athletes. Sherry Berry always told me we should be grateful and cheer the loudest because it's hard to cheer for a losing team, and we have never had to do that. And I never had to until I started going to SVSU football games, and then we had to play in the Battle of the Valleys against Grand Valley. If you don't know, it's not a great time. In the entire 7 years I've been involved in the Millington High School football cheer program, I've never once had a season where all we did was lose. There's never a year someone didn't say and truly believe that this is the year to go to Ford Field. And I'm so proud to be a part of the program that made this hometown dream come true. I will always be amazed by the hard work and dedication of these athletes, coaches, and our whole community, and all of the dedication and work that they put into our school and athletics. I started this year with less cheerleaders than I expected. I had 4. But I would have rather taken this small group that had so much heart and passion than a larger group who didn't have what these girls had. And I'm so excited to see how this program grows with Caitlin taking over. I would just like to take a moment to shout out the girls individually because they really did work so hard this season. I cannot believe that this season was all of their first season cheering for football. Not a single one of them had ever cheered at a football game ever before. So we're going to start with Destiny. She is one of our captains. She is always smiling and giggling, even at practice, and I cannot get her to stop ever. I'm so thankful. She always brought the mood up at hard practices when stunts were just not hitting or things weren't working. She's so versatile, and I didn't hesitate to throw her into any stunt or tumbling pass because she was always up for it. I saw such an improvement this season from your hard work in and out of practice, and I cannot wait to see that backhand spring one day. Elena, my other captain, she is truly the hardest worker I know. She dual sported this semester with volleyball, and she would literally come to practice after school for cheer, then go straight to volleyball practice, go home, do her homework, and come back and I'll do it the next day. I could have never done that, and Elena is a freshman, so I'm truly so incredibly amazed by everything she does, and I know whatever she does put her mind to, she will eventually do. She is going to be receiving her varsity letter and her cheer pin. Alexis, who can't be here tonight, came to practice every day and put in hard work. There were times when I was worried that the cheers wouldn't be heard since I only had 4 girls, but I could always hear Alexis. She wasn't embarrassed to be the loudest or worried if she would mess up. She just went for it. And as a coach with only 4 cheerleaders, I was so happy. She was always confident and ready for games. Tala, who also isn't here, was the last girl to join our team in the fall. I've never seen someone pick up cheers as fast as her. She was thrown into cheers and stunts alike without hesitation, and she did so well at learning both so fast. I'm so proud of how far Tala has come, and while going from gymnastics to cheer may seem easy, it usually never is. But Tala took everything I taught her about cheers and stunting, and she excelled at it. She will also be receiving her varsity letter and her cheer pin. Michaela, who's here tonight, was a late addition to the team. She was on the basketball cheer team for the season that's happening right now and asked if she could join for a few playoff games. I was a little worried at first, but she jumped in and became a part of the team. The game at Ford Field was only her 3rd or 4th game, and I couldn't even tell because she did so well. She will also be receiving her varsity letter in her cheer pin. We also had Carly, who is not here tonight, join in our game at Ford Field. After joining the basketball cheer team for this year, that was her very first game as a Millington cheerleader. I was amazed and proud at how confident she was just to join in at Ford Field, our biggest game ever. There are 2 more people I want to shout out, Morgan and Caitlin. Morgan's not here tonight, but she was my assistant coach for this season, and she helps me more than she knows. Between school and my field work, life got a little chaotic, but Morgan was always there to cover for me. And Caitlin, when the end of the season came around, she was going to be the coach for the next season. I appreciated her help so much, from bringing Michaela and Carly up to speed so that she could cheer with us to covering for me at games. When I had school, I really appreciated her help, and I cannot wait to see where this program grows with her. Finally, I would like to thank Colby for being mine and the cheerleaders' biggest supporters, even when he didn't want to be there and we were playing Cass City, his hometown team, and they lost very badly. He was always there to get me hot chocolate and explain the plays I missed or truly just didn't understand. Thank you all for listening, and as many people have proven, once a Cardinal, always a Cardinal.
Great job, ladies. Thank you again for all of your support this year. Thank you, ladies. Okay, the next up, we're going to have Mr. Tom Green from the Huron Daily News to give out some awards for the Associated Press. So come on up.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Coach Germain, and I want to commend the coaching staff to start, as I've seen Millington from two different perspectives over my time in high school sports. One from an Essexville Garber perspective, I know, the rival in the TVC, ooh, and one the other from the Thumb perspective. And I want to say that Coach Germain and his staff have really seen a massive and very good culture change from my Garber days to my Thumb days. So I want to give them a round of applause on that, the culture change. Absolutely. So as how the all-state teams are selected and how it works is, before last year there was only about 6 or 7 panelists from the bigger city areas that selected the all-state teams. Well, last year, Larry Lage extended that to 5, 6 other outlets, including the Thumb, and I could not have said yes any faster when I got that email saying, do you want to represent All-State? I'm like, oh yes, the Thumb Sports Writers Association, which was established in 2005, was established on the basis of the Thumb area was not receiving the all-state recognition that they deserved. And now I am grateful and thankful to help the area get its all-state recognition. So first off, I have a few different certificates to hand out for the all-state awards. The first I want to give out is to a player that will always have his name in Millington sports history on the record books as well, breaking the record, breaking a few different records, and also winning the Player of the Year. And when we were voting on Player of the Year, Doug Donnelly said, "So and so, Millington." I raised my hand, as did everybody else, and my head went, "Wow." I could not believe it that this had happened. So the first award goes to Tevin Dallas Walsh. Congratulations, buddy. Much deserved. Well deserved. Second award. When you are the quarterback of the team, especially in today's era of football, you have to be a leader. And this guy definitely was the resemblance of a leader throughout his seasons under center and in shotgun, of course, is with that too, even though in the option you run a lot under center rather than shotgun. First team quarterback, Truck Turbush. Congratulations, buddy. There were times where you ran like an 18-wheeler out there. Truck Turbush. Anyone want a picture? Okay.
Thank you.
The next guy on the list, he was recognized more so on defense, all-state, but I want to commend his offense as well, as the tight end position is almost one of two. You can play it in two different ways. One as a pass catcher and one as a blocker. And this guy kind of had to do it both ways. And the guy that I really want him to watch as far as pass catching is Vernon Davis, because I feel that he really changed the tight end position. I know that the kids in this day and age watch a lot of Travis Kelce, and he was one that learned from Vernon Davis as well. But he's a guy I want him to watch and help on that skills too. But on the defensive line, Brevin Hendricks. Congratulations, buddy. This next guy, we did not know until long after all the trophies were presented that he played through injury. This guy made the second team as a linebacker. This guy had to hear a lot from the coach on and off the field. Sometimes I wonder how he still does it. Landon Germain. How's that going? Oh, good. Here's that. And the final player, he was an honorable mention athlete, and let me tell you, when you move from different schools, especially in this area where you're in an everybody knows everybody type of area, not only do you have to click with the team, you have to click with the community. And this guy, I feel, did just that, not only on but off the field, and really helped this team give it that piece to win the state championship. Landon Russell. Congratulations, buddy. Thank you. Absolutely. And the last award I have to give out, and this guy probably, who knows if he actually wants to see the award, because I know that his humility and humbleness says, hey, this isn't on me. This is on my staff. This isn't me. But sometimes, I got to give the award one way or the other. It was a co-Honor of the Year award with Beale City's Brad Gross from Division 8, but both of these coaches won state championships. Division 7-8 Coach of the Year, Jason Germain. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you, this one's a joke award to give to Christian. Just
I will. I'll make sure I give it to him.
Congratulations. Congratulations to all the all-state athletes and coach. And excellent season. Only 2 football teams in the state of Michigan finished undefeated. They were both from the Thumb. The Deckerville Eagles in 8-man football Division 1 and the Millington Cardinals in 11-man football Division 7. Thank you.
That was great having Tom here tonight. So thank you. And I know he lives a long ways away, but he made time to come up here and make it extra special for these guys. So thank you again. The next fellow I'd like to bring up is the voice of 92.1, Scott Bowlesby. Let's go. Let's give it a round of applause for Scott Bowlesby.
Hello, good evening, everybody, and congratulations first and foremost to Millington on a great season. And if I can get this right, it's been a fun ride with you guys, and announcing it, covering it, taking photos, whatever chance I got to cover you guys this season. It was an absolute blast. So thank you for the ride. First and foremost, Tom kind of mentioned it as well. A lot to be excited about with this Millington squad. I have some notes written down here. He mentioned they were the only undefeated 11-player team in the state. Absolutely amazing. Another thing when I was going through my information was finding out, and it's kind of crazy, is they're the first, and I know USA's been there, but they were the first team from Tuscola County to get to the state finals and win a state champion. So that was pretty amazing. So congratulations to you guys on that as well. Really hard to believe that nobody else has been there before. I know obviously Millington's been close, but yeah, you guys are the first, so that's awesome. Congratulations, guys. It was a fun ride, to say the least. It was just when I first started at this job. I first met Christian Zalik, who's not here tonight, but he told me one of the first things I remember he said on Let's Talk Sports was that he was not going to go to a state final game until Millington was in it. I think he stayed true to that, and I think it definitely was worth the wait. Another thing I wanted to mention that cycles through my head all the time is Lenny Dantine telling me last year after the season, talking about Landon Russell, saying, Scotty, I think this is going to be the piece that helps us get over that final hurdle to get to Ford Field, and There you go. Look at just that piece and all the little pieces that work together. You guys just did an awesome job. And I don't think I said the word defense as much as I did in that state title game. The defense was amazing. Offense, just as good. So it was just an absolute blast. And I got to thank you guys so much for taking us along on the ride for that. And on behalf of Chris, my broadcasting partner. And I got to say, it's weird eating dinner and hearing yourself talk and yell and get excited about stuff, and it's just it's pretty awkward. But anyways, I am here representing the Thumb Sports Writers Association, which is Tom is a part of as well. We represent Huron, Sanilac, and Tuscola counties, and teams based in those 3 counties. We are sports writers, we are broadcasters, and then we have Ben Miller as well, who's a little bit of everything. So he is also a voter, Quad M Productions photographer, I guess you could add in there as well. We come together twice a year to vote on an all-thumb basketball and all-thumb football team. Again, this is for the lack of love that the Thumb area gets from the state level. A lot of Detroit and Grand Rapids-based teams get all the love, and the Thumb gets forgotten about, to be honest. And we try to come together and try to give out awards, which we have 2 of them right here, the big ones, every year. And they are regular season awards only. So with that being said, I'm going to run down your teams. We do a first and second team offense and defense. So real quick, I'll just go down. You guys don't have to get up and come up here and everything. I do have certificates for you guys and stuff. But our first team offense, I'll go through the first team and second team offense, and then we'll go through the defense. First team offense on quarterback, Chuck Turbush, running back Dallas Walsh, end Brevin Hendricks, wideout Bryce Martin, lineman Jacob Flutie, athlete Landon Russell, kicker Lane Shones, and on second team offense, lineman Zach Peters. And honestly, everybody on the offense could have made it on a team. We have to be fair because we have a ton of teams to vote from, and there were some great performances this year. But that was who we were able to narrow down to and get Millington on, which there's 8 guys on the team, so that's pretty remarkable. So congratulations to you guys, and we'll jump to the defense real quick. First team defense, lineman Brevin Hendricks, linebackers Dallas Walsh and Landon Germain, and defensive back Chuck Turbush, and on second team lineman Jacob Flutie and defensive back Bryce Martin. And again, regular season stats only. Any one of you guys could have made the team. Postseason, it just was a different beast you guys turned into, and different players just came out of the woodwork and had these huge games and just were explosive, and that's what the team needed. And our awards are important, obviously, but that big trophy you guys have right there is a little bit more important than the awards we give out. I will be the first to say that, and so congratulations for you guys on making the all-thumb teams. We'll get to the big trophies right now. We had 2 teams in the Thumb area that were undefeated, and it was really hard to separate the 2. Once we got to the postseason, obviously, if we waited till after the season was over, it would have made it a little bit easier. But going into the postseason, we had 2 undefeated teams, so we did have a split with Team of the Year. It was Harbor Beach and none other than Millington. So that is the trophy at the end there, and that is Team of the Year. So congratulations, guys. I don't have a trophy for this one, but it definitely needs to be applauded. It's a huge role on the team, and Millington has won it a couple times, and just a amazing performance. I got stats here really quick. If you guys bear with me, I got to bring them up here. It was a great season on the defensive side. This young man, if I can find it here, had 52 total tackles, 2 forced fumbles during the regular season, 30 solo tackles. He had 2 games where he had 11 tackles against Cass City and Birch Run, including 2 tackles for a loss against Cass City and a tackle for loss against Birch Run. And then obviously we know what happened in the postseason with him and what he played through. But our 2024 Defensive Player of the Year is Landon Germain. And this trophy right here, and if you're sitting close, you can see who it is. But this trophy, well, actually, the teams have been out for 2 months. I forget what month it is. But this trophy right here is our Player of the Year trophy. There's been some names on here. from Millington. Just recently, I think Jackson Shreve was the last one in 2018, which is still misprinted on here as Jack Shreve. So we got to fix that. But Jesse Stewart, 2020 or 2010, Justin Stutler from 2009, and then Dustin Greasing from 2007 were your other Millington winners. But this year, if he wants to come up and get it, he can. Dallas Walsh. All right, that is pretty much it for me. But again, congratulations, guys. Thank you for the ride. Thank you to the coaches. Thinking back to staying in my hotel room before the North Muskegon game, reading all the stories about North Muskegon and how they were poised to make it to Ford Field. This was going to be their year. Millington had terrible troubles in the semifinal game, and they hadn't won it, and this, that, and then some. And I sent it to Christian, and next thing you know, it ended up in Coach Germain's celebration speech afterwards. So that one win obviously is going to overlook all the losses that you guys may have dealt with, and that championship where you not only beat them but shut them out is still baffling to me. And yes, Coach Dantine still sends me a text that said, "Hey, I just watched your video for the 4th time today." So I appreciate that. You're racking up those views for us. So all right, guys, thanks a lot, and congratulations again.
Thank you. Thanks again, Scott, for coming over, and thanks for all the support you give us. It's great when we get the radio stations at our games. So thank you again. Appreciate it. And now it's time. It's time for what we're here for, the recognition of the guys, the players, and how I'm going to do this. And this is just tradition of how we do it. I'm going to call up the 9th and the 10th graders all as a group, and I will talk about them and kind of go through it with them. Then I'll call all the juniors up, and they will get their moment, and I'll talk a little bit about them. And then as the seniors come up, I will call the seniors up one at a time, and we'll do it that way. It's just kind of been tradition. I don't like to say I'm shortchanging anybody, but that's just how we've been doing it in the past. It seems to work. And then as your senior year, you get to have that moment where you get to come up here and have the one-on-one individual time. But I do want to stress the importance of these guys that I'm going to call up here in just a minute, the 9th and the 10th graders that came up for the playoffs, knowing darn well that they probably weren't going to play at all, but they still wanted to come up and have that experience. And as coaches, that's invaluable to us to have them up there, to see the Dallas Walshes and the Brevins and the Trucks and the Landons, just so that they can see, hey, all right, this is what I got to do. Okay, this is how I act. These are some of the things, or how not to act, I should say sometimes. But I love those guys, and it was great to have those guys up here. And I think that they became better football players in that 5-week span, and I think that they were appreciative of it. And you know what? They're on a state championship team. They're part of the greatest team I've ever walked the field at Millington Community Schools. So I'd like all of my freshmen and sophomores that were up for the playoffs, and then we did have 6 guys that came up, and played with us in the 5th quarter. So could you guys come on up here, please? Come on right up front here, please. Yeah, just line up. And if I could have one of the coaches at least, maybe Coach Gillum, Coach Booby, somebody. Thanks, guys. Just kind of go on that side, guys. So like I said, why these guys are up here, they are our future. Make no mistake about it. The seniors that are here now, they were here a couple years back. And you parents can attest to this, that it wasn't that long ago we were sitting in here or at the high school cafeteria for that banquet and looking at these. No, I was going to pass them out, guys. Yeah. Oh. I just wanted to. So I should just do it all myself. You got to micromanage.
You have to go more explicit with us.
Now you know what I'm talking about. And my mood swings. So, back to what I was talking about. It goes by fast, guys. You freshmen and sophomores, it's going to fly by. Trust me. And parents know that. If you've had kids, too, that have already come through, you know how fast this goes. And I know it's cliche to say, but in a blink of an eye, it's going to be over with, and you're going to be standing here as a senior. And I'm hoping we're standing here when you're senior year, and we're having this same exact banquet in the same place, and we're celebrating another state championship. You guys are the future. I know the hard work. I know that some of you guys, I've seen videos. You're posting out there right now and you're working. Some of you are going to special places and getting special training. And that's what it takes, is dedication. You don't become state champs or you don't become a champion by accident. You get there through hard work and dedication. And I have no doubt that you guys are going to carry on this torch. And, you know, these seniors, when they're gone, they're going to be the guys on the, you know, leaning on there, yelling up from the crowd at you. So, you know, you got to carry it on starting next year and work towards our goal of next year, which is, you know, another state championship. But the first guy I want to make mention of is Cade Ward. I know he's not here, but I still wanted to make mention that Cade was a freshman, and he came up and did a wonderful job for practice for us. Now we got it. The next fella I have is Memphis Springsteen. He's also not here tonight, but he let me know he was not going to be here, but I did want to make mention of him. He's got a bright future. Brendan Washer, you know, carrying on the last name Washer. We're looking forward to having Brendan with us in the future. He's got a very, very bright future. Brendan Washer. Colin Molastin, and this is the name that I think has been mispronounced more. Like Molastain was one of them today. It truly amazes me how you can have so many different pronunciations for this name. But Colin is you know, it'll be interesting to see how he progresses. I'm thinking that he's going to probably be a little better than his brother next year. Where's his brother at? You know, I'm just starting the rivalry now. I had to. Got a bright future, Colin. Drake Terwilliger. Drake is one of the guys that came up as a fifth quarter kid for us. Drake prepped all week for the state finals, and you know, I felt horrible because literally up till about 2 minutes before the game, I thought Drake was probably going to have to start and play because Landon had the injury that, you know, being the great dad I was, I'm like, dude, you got to toughen up and play, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, I don't regret it, but I sort of do, I guess. But Drake prepared all week long like he was going to get it, and then for him to not be able to play really and play, I mean, he played in special teams. He took it like a champ, man. Selflessness. He didn't care. He just wanted to win. And I hope that Drake knows that the torch is, like, he's one of those guys that has to step up and be a dude for us next year, because we are expecting big things from Drake Terwilliger. Next, we got Colton Graves. Colton's a freshman, and Colton didn't come up the first week, but then I think his dad gave me a call and said, hey, man, what do you think? And I said, yeah, if he wants to, let's go. He came up, and I think it was great for him to be around the guys just to see. He wasn't intimidated at all. I think he really used this time up there in the varsity to craft his skill and to, you know, to become a better player and to see, you know, the Duddies up there and those guys. And, you know, we're thinking and hoping that Colton's going to have a very, very bright future for us. Another one of these brothers, man. I think we have several brothers. Hudson Myers. I know that this is a very competitive family. And you know, Hudson is another one of these guys. He's a freshman. He came up, and he is going to be, you know, counted on heavily by us in the future. He is. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, moving forward. Rumor has it the best one is Meatball. Then I think he's in the 7th grade. We're going to find out. But we'll see. Where's Hudson at? I know he's there. He is. He's already giving me that look. Like he'll show me. That's how he's wired. He'll show me. Yes. Hudson Myers, man, got a bright future. Here we go on again with another brother, Evan Krieger, sophomore. He's one that came up with us and was up there for the games. He had a great season for the JV team. We're looking for some big things out of Evan coming forward. He's got some big shoes to fill with his brother, moving on. So we are very excited about Evan and the future he has within the program. Evan Krieger. Cameron Barnum. Cameron's another one that he came up with us. He was a fifth quarter kid. And to be honest, one of the things I said, there are certain kids that I want to bring up we had a coaches meeting. We're like, well, who do we want to bring up? We can't bring them all up. I said, well, I know one for sure is non-negotiable is Cameron, because I saw how hard he worked in the summertime. Cameron just worked his tail off, and he just wants to get better. And he's got a really bright future ahead of him as well. And we're looking forward to Cameron next year. Cameron Barnum. Another one right here, Noah Stewart. He played quarterback down in the JV level. Came up, and we were really excited about having him come up and rep scout O quarterback for us, because he's just, if you haven't seen him throw a football, I mean, it's something. He's got a cannon for an arm. Can throw just absolute darts. So he come up, he really helped us run scout team quarterback for the 5 weeks in the playoffs, and we're looking for big things out of Noah Stewart next year. Another one that came up for us and played and made some big plays for us. I think he had 3 or 4 interceptions on the season, coming up for just fifth quarter. If you remember the Cass City playoff game, they kind of had some of the momentum, and they kick it off, and they're like, well, we're not kicking it to Martin. We're going to kick it to that. Who is it, 33? Well, let's just kick it to him. I think he's a sophomore. Next thing you know, touchdown. So let him learn a lesson there. But, yeah, Layden DeLong, he's got a very, very bright future ahead of him. He's going to be a dude for us, and he has really good work ethic, and we're looking for big things for Layden DeLong. Another guy that came up fifth quarter for us, and he come up and asked Duddy. He was kind of a wrecking ball, and the D-line for scout D-line, I should say. But he made our offensive line work. They were not going to just, I think it was preparing for the Pewaukee-Westphalia game, and it got heated out there. I'm like, oh, my goodness, do I stop this? And Eli got up smiling. It's okay. He's getting better. And he made our guys better. I'm telling you, Eli has got a very bright future. I know he's working hard right now, and the sky's the limit for him, but he's just got to put the work in, and I know he's going to, so we're looking for big things out of Eli Thompson. Did you get everybody? I didn't miss nobody up here, did I? Okay, like I said, you guys are our future, man. It starts. You got to be working hard, so let's give these guys a round of applause. You can have a seat, guys. Job. Juniors? Yeah. In that way I can. Oh, now he's getting smart with me. Is it okay if I pick it up like this? Okay, shots fired. All right, see, this is going to go, Mr. Bove. Jeez. If it were up to me, guys, I would call school off tomorrow. Because I might be looking for a new job tomorrow. I'm joking. I love this guy. I really do. Now I'm fearful for my life, but. The first guy I want to talk about real quick, he didn't play football, but he contributed to the program. And that's what we look for, is people that want to contribute to our program. And it's Jordan Sackman. Come on up here, Jordan Sackman, real quick. Jordan was our statistician, and I appreciate everything he did for our program, and thank you, Jordan Sackman. So if I could have all the juniors come on up here and line up just like the freshmen and sophomores did. Hopefully you guys can handle this. I know the freshmen and sophomores had no problems with it. Man, do they clean up good. They look good, don't they? I'm not sure who the best dressed is. I don't know. Bassett thinks it's him. I think it's pretty good, yeah. Yes. Now, I know that some of you are like probably wondering, well, my kid was out, next year When they're the seniors, they're going to get that individual one-on-one conversation up here. And we feel that that's good because it's something for them to strive for and work for and to work towards. The seniors, they're getting a lot of the accolades right now, but let's face it, they would not be where they were without these guys right here. They would not. It's when you combine the two classes, we're not fools. We as coaches said, man, when these two classes combine, man, they're going to be legit. I'm telling you, man. And we would talk and we would discuss, and and it happened. They did. They just meshed well. Not to say that we didn't have drama in practices, but that was just because they're all competitive, going at it after each other. But that's good. It's a competitive spirit. It's a competitive nature. We knew we had something special when we were in the weight room, and these guys are just working their tails off, helping each other out, screaming, hollering. I'd show my wife these videos, and she's like, I didn't know you guys did that. Well, what do you think we're doing up there? I mean, do you think we're just like jump rope or what? No, these guys worked hard. They worked extremely hard. They were up there busting their tails, and it showed. And the torch is literally being passed to you guys. You have to carry on the tradition of Millington football. Okay, 36 consecutive winning seasons. We want to be 37 consecutive winning seasons next year, and it starts with you guys. It can't start in August. It has to start this week. We have our powerlifting meet coming up, and we're going to be asking you guys to take that next step. You know, in the past, you could always lean on the guys ahead of you. Now you guys are the ones they're going to be leaning on. You guys are the future. So I hope you understand that. I hope you accept that challenge, and I hope you're ready for it because ready or not, here we come. Huh? All right. So I do want to give you guys your awards. And just so you know, parents, in these packets, there is the state championship patch. There's the conference championship patch. There's the district patch. There's the regional championship patch. There's the state championship medal. There is the district medal, the regional medal. There's a lot of things going into this that these guys have worked so hard and they have earned it. Like I said earlier tonight, nothing was handed to these guys. Everything that they've gotten has been earned. And that's what makes it so much more special. You can just have things handed to you, but when you earn it, it makes it all the more special. So the first guy I have is going to be junior Lane Shones. Just a couple quick things about Lane. He was first team all-conference kicker. He was first team all-thumb kicker. He was honorable mention Saginaw News Dream Team kicker, and he was honorable mention all-conference punter. Lane is going to be more than just a kicker for us next year. Okay, he's going to be one of our dudes, and he works hard. These kicks. When I love listening to the broadcasters of those guys, Grant Perry, and there's like, he's 0 for 1 from the year from 20 to 30 yards, and we're like, yeah. And then you look, he's on the left hash on a smaller goal. The pro goalposts are smaller than the college; they're narrower, and he just drilled that thing. And then that was huge because that pushed up 2 scores. I mean, if you're playing a ball control game and it's a defensive battle, when you get up 2 scores, that's huge. So Lane Shones is going to be counted on big time next year. Lane Shones Jr. Next, we have Logan Myers. Logan, number 21, junior. He was honorable mention all conference. Now, I hope you guys listened to what the awards guys were saying is, technically, personally, I believe that we probably could have had every position, but that's just me being biased. But as all conference and whatnot, but sometimes they have to be fair and they have to do these different types of things. And but if you watch the state finals game, you really saw what Logan Myers is capable of and what he does when he wants to. He was a complete wrecking ball that game, so much so that the Detroit News recognized that, and he was awarded first team All-State Detroit News. So Logan has a very, very Logan's going to be looked upon next year to be a leader, a mentor. Being a leader is very difficult. It's not easy, but I hope he's ready because he's going to be asked to do a lot of things and to be a leader, and I know he's up for the challenge. So Logan Myers. Next I have Garrett Woodward, number 12, junior. Okay, Garrett was second team all-conference defensive back. Garrett's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. What I mean by that is he had to play a lot of positions. Hey, Garrett, Landon's hurt. Get out there. You have to play linebacker. What? Okay. You backup quarterback. You are a receiver. He has to play a lot of positions. And Garrett never wavered, never blinked an eye. You know, early on when we had some injuries to some of our upperclassmen, Garrett was out there. He comes to everything. He shows up, works hard. He has a very, very bright future. We're looking for Garrett to, you know, carry that torch next year and be one of our main dudes. So Garrett Woodward, number 12. Chase Molostin, number 4, junior. Chase is one of those guys that he has just got. Somebody compared him to last night. I was at a Lions party. Yeah, what party was that? But anyways, they were saying that, you know, who Chase Molostin reminds me of, and they're like Hutch from the Lions. He just never stops. He's always on go, 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 go. And if you watch that state finals game, or any of the games, for instance, I personally think his North Muskegon game was just as good as the state finals game. He was almost unblockable, and that's a great thing. Chase, you know, he's going to be, you know, one of our mainstays on defense and offense next year. He's going to have to be a leader. He was, you know, he was recognized for player of the game for North Muskegon, so he's also going to get one of these player of the game posters that Mrs. Dan team brought together. So Chase Molostin. The one thing I forgot to that I'm not going to take the blame for this, that Mr. Beauvais forgot to hand out, were these all-state. Every player is going to get one of these. Let me show you that Mrs. Dan team put together for him. They're all going to get one of these. So the guys that have already been up here, I'll make sure that you guys get yours, okay? Oh! He just hit me in the kidneys. Jeez. I'm just digging a bigger hole. All right, next up we have Zach Demaray. You know, I'm gonna go back to Zach Demaray. When I had him in middle school as I was his teacher, and I started striking up a conversation. I said, "Do you play football?" Nope. I said, "Have you ever thought about playing football?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe." You know, and I heard he's like quite the little, pretty athletic. So I said, "Man, why don't you give football a shot? Give it a chance." You know, you can see potential in him, and he did. And you know, as a sophomore, he was really good. Started and played a lot. He ran into a situation this year where a lot of the juniors that are up here right now, there were some upperclassmen ahead of them. You know, we had a large senior class, and it was tough to break the starting lineup. That doesn't mean that Zach's not a great football player. It just means that there was a really, really good player ahead of him. And next year, when Zach is going to be that senior, and if he puts the work in that he normally does all summer, this last summer, Zach's going to be one of those guys. And we're looking for very bright things from Zach Demaray, Jr. Next, I have junior Connor Erlenbeck, number 44, played linebacker for us. You know, Connor's one of those guys, too, who's very quiet, but once you get Connor talking, I'm telling you, this guy right here has got $1 million voice. If you hear his voice, he's got like a radio voice, and I tell him that. I said, "Man, you got a good voice." He's good, but he's just I'm being serious, Mrs. Peters. She's laughing at me. No, I know. But Connor is a great kid. Like I said, he took his responsibility and roles very seriously out there. When he got in, he did his best. He was a special team guy. He, like I said, he had some seniors ahead of him that played linebacker. But I do remember, you know, as his sophomore year, I was watching him. I was talking to Coach Slaw. I says, "Is that Erlenbeck out there playing linebacker?" And he's like, "Yes, it is." I said, "Man, he's pretty feisty out there. I don't see that side of him very often." He goes, "Well, he's got a feisty side to him," and yes, he does. So we are ecstatic and excited to have Connor back next year. Connor Erlenbeck. Next up, I have Mr. Joe Bassett, junior, number 83. And Joe and I got a good relationship. We talk quite a bit. And Joe's come up to me and says, "I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going to play football this year or because I'm in band." I says, "Well, why can't you do both? Do both, Joe. Do them both." And he's like, "Well, I might just do that." And I know that it means a lot to his family because he's like a 6th generation of Bassetts that have played football for Millington. And that is something. And like I tell you guys, people bleed red and white here in Millington. And they love the fact that, you know, Joe was out there. And I'm going to tell a quick story. I can't remember where we are. It was a home game. And I'm like, we wanted to get Joe on the field. And I'm screaming and hollering. I mean, even Coach Danteen's like telling me to relax. I'm like, where is Joe? And everybody starts laughing, and they're just going on and on. I'm like, where is he? And they're like, they point over, and he's running on the track with his tuba to get with the band. And I'm like, okay, there he is. Yeah, I think it was. So Joe, yes, it was. He come up to me, and he's always wanted on that special teams. He wanted to go down there, and Joe's he's great to have on the team, and I love him being around. He works extremely hard, and I'm telling you, Joe, you gained a lot of respect from a lot of these guys for how hard you work, and you never ever back down. You'd go up against the big guys, and you would battle with Duddy, and it was great. All right, and you'll always have that respect from your teammates and me, Joe Bassett. Next, I have Logan Riley, 55 junior. Played offensive line and defensive line for us. He was honorable mention all-conference offensive line. He's got the nickname Foo-Foo. I'm not sure where it comes from, but I love it. Where is he? There he is. I didn't recognize me. He had that blonde hair. He's one of the orneriest guys we have. There's one time he'll be just in the best of moods, and then that next minute, if you catch Logan Riley on a bad day, you better look out, because he's scrappy. I love how he plays football. I just love it. He's tough. He don't take any guff from anybody. And it showed. If you look at that run that Russell had in the state finals, really watch the play and see who gets to the linebacker. You know, Russell gets all the praise, and it was a great run, don't get me wrong, but it's Logan Riley's block that got to the second level. We always call those touchdown blocks. Once you get to the second level and you get to that linebacker, Russell's going to go down there and score the touchdown, but you sprung him. And that's a heck of a block. And I appreciated Grant Perry, the announcer, saying that, hey, 55 with the big block there. And Logan's going to be counted on next year on both sides of the ball for his abilities on the field and his leadership. Logan Riley. Next, I have Hunter Denny, number 10, junior receiver. You can say all kinds of things about Hunter, but one thing you can say is that he is extremely, extremely hardworking. He's just all the time in the weight room. I remember he'd been going up to, that wasn't this year because he was with us, but I knew he'd been going up to the Vassar gym there. He just wants to become a better football player, and he works at it. He doesn't just sit and talk about, oh, I'd like to be better at this. No, he's actually out there, and he's working towards his goals. And, you know, we're excited for Hunter Dennis next year, and I know that if he continues on the path he's on now, he's going to have a very bright future for us next year, and I'm super excited to have Hunter Dennis back. And he also gets a banner for being an unsung hero for us, and I wanted to make sure that he got that, and appreciate all the hard work that you're doing for us, Hunter. Hunter Dennis. Next, I got Barry Washer, number 56, junior. Barry unfortunately has to see me all the time in the summer. And I talk football to him all the time because he works out to Willow Springs, and I golf out there a lot. Well, I'm out there. I don't know if I can call it golf, but I'm out there a lot, and I'm always on him. What do you think? You know, and he sees me at workouts, and then he goes to work, and then there I am. He's got to get sick of me. But from day one to the end of the season, Barry Washer was like a different kid, man. He just, each game you could see him getting better and better and better. And by the end, man, he was just, there's a play in the state finals game. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's on one of the clips. And this kid just like, I thought he should have got a penalty because he looked like he punched old Barry. And Barry just shook it off and kind of looked at him like, pack a lunch, buddy. This is going to be me all night knocking you on your butt. So, you know, Barry is going to be a very integral part of our team next year. We're super excited he's back. You are only as good as your offensive line, and thank goodness we have Barry Washer back for our offensive line. Barry Washer, Jr. Gabe Bach. I think Gabe Bach did everything for us this year except drive a bus to the game. The kid does everything, and he never, ever, like, if I were to say, hey, Gabe, I need you to run to the locker room, get me a Diet Coke, he'd go, yes, coach, and he'd run up there and get me one. Or I mean, I'm being kind of, you know, foolish right now, but Gabe is that guy. He played tackle, guard, center. He played D-end. He played any position asked of him. The kid just wants to play football. He just wants out there. And that's what I refer back to, selflessness. He don't care. Just get me on the field. How can I contribute? What can I do to help us win a championship? And Gabe checked all the boxes. He's done everything I asked of him. And I hope Gabe knows that you are going to be counted on big time next year. Because, you know, I'm thinking I got like 3 returners, or we have like 3 returners on that line. And, you know, continue to work hard and strive for your goals. Gabe Bach. Another guy we have, Keith Brown, Jr., number 77. Keith's another one of those guys that I categorize as, you know, as a sophomore year, he was doing great. Did great, and it's always it's when you come up and you're with the guys ahead of you, and you maybe you've been a starter your whole life, and now next thing you know, I'm not a starter. You know, you can either there's a couple options you can do. 1, sit and pout about it and blame somebody, or 2, work hard and get better. Keith chose 2. He's worked hard, he's gotten better, and you know, Keith's going to have a very big role for us next year. He's going to be counted on to be a leader both on and off the field. You know, O-line, D-line, whatever it's going to be, you know, we're looking for big things from Keith Brown next year. Keith Brown, Jr. Next guy up is Austin Wendland, number 14. And I remember calling Austin and like talking him into playing. Not that he wasn't going to play. He does other things, and he had to, you know, he had his job and whatnot, and I says, Austin, man, we need you. You're going to be a player for us. And he's like, you know what, I want to. And he came, and thank goodness he did, because, you know, like I said, there's some guys ahead of him, but Austin is another one of those guys that works hard. He's very savvy out there. He just knows where to be. You know, Coach Dan T would often talk to me about him, like, man, Wendland had a good practice out there, dude. He's looking good. And I couldn't agree with him more. And, you know, with Austin, you know, we are looking for big things from him next year, both on and off the field, his leadership abilities, and, you know, his defensive back or receiver, whichever one. And Austin Wendland, number 14, junior. I don't want to forget nobody. Gage is looking at me down there like, come on now, don't forget me. I won't forget you, Gage. Gage was in the situation where, you know, there's a lot of guys up here. And we haven't even got to the seniors. And Gage was one where, you know, he had some issues before the season started, so he couldn't come out till a little bit later. And he asked. He's just a very soft-spoken guy. He's like, can I play? And I'm like, yes, you can. But what do you think of going down and helping the JVs out so you can get some more playing time? And he was all about it. He just wanted to play football. And that's what we did. We made sure that he could go down and contribute on the JV team, and the JV coaches would kind of, you know, give glowing reports on him and how hard he worked and what a great attitude he had, and it was great to hear. And we're excited to have Gage Williams back next year. Gage Williams, number 70. I do have another one. He's not here tonight, but I do want to make mention of him. Joe White, he's a junior, number 28, played D-line for us. And, you know, Joe's going to have a big part on the team next year too, but I did want to make sure I mentioned Joe White. So before these guys sit down, just know, guys, that it's you guys next, man. You guys are the next up. You guys are counted on to be leaders and to, you know, to carry on the tradition. And parents know that it goes by fast. So buckle up and hold on and enjoy every minute that you have with your sons. So let's give these guys a round of applause for the state champs right here. All right, guys, you can have a seat. So this is how we'll go. These are in order. Okay. So that should be able to go right. Yep, perfect. Okay, we're cruising along here, and I don't want to shortchange anybody and go too fast, but at the same time, I know it's been a long evening, and we're going to kind of go over our seniors now. And we had a big senior class. There was 15 of them, and it's extra emotional for myself. I'm doing pretty good though, actually. It's extra emotional for myself because I've watched these guys grow up, and I've watched them come all the way through. And I was just talking to Coach Dantine. I says, what year did you come? And he said 2007. I says, well, that's the year these guys were all born, was 2007. So, you know, my Landon has come along, and I remember when he'd come over and he would just teach my son some bad words. Do you remember those, Mr. Dantine? Oh, yeah. He'd ask him, where'd the snake bite you? And I'd just have, stop. Yeah, Angie's smiling. Yeah. But no. So this is extra special for myself and for a lot of you, because you are my close personal friends, to see what we've, you know, watched all the way through. So it's been great. So it's gonna be a very, you know, amazing feeling that sometimes you just have to pinch yourself and say, did that really happen? Yes, it did. We were able to go down to Ford Field and fulfill so many of our, you know, dreams, at least mine. I've been coaching for 26 years here at Millington, and I was a student athlete here too. To finally have it happen, so many times we've been so close, and to actually have it happen with this group, it's kind of surreal. So enough of that, but I do want to just, you know, thank you parents for everything that you guys have done and how you've raised your children. It was an honor coaching them. So it's a celebration tonight. A lot of these banquets, I get really emotional because it's it, and we didn't end the way we wanted it. We ended how we wanted to. And I had a former, it was actually a female. She's the coach over at Robin Ill. She had texted me and said, hey, just so you know, after the state finals game, you're going to have like 2 days later, you're going to have like a morning. I'm like, oh, like you're going to feel really sad. And I'm like, what? 2 days later, sure enough, I'm like, Jesus. Because you go from being on top of the world with these guys every day, 4 or 5 hours a day, to, well, I don't see you no more. We're done. Everything we set out to happen, it happened, but now it's over with. It's like you just got dumped by your girlfriend. It's like, geez, what do I do now? And that's it. It's kind of how it felt, because everything was so great when we were riding high, and next thing you know, it's over with. And then 2 days later, they're practicing basketball. Poor kid stuck with Coach Brady. But that's beside the point. But it was kind of a shell shock for me, and it took me a little bit of time to just kind of like, what do I do now? What do we do now? You know, and so, but I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change it for the world. So the first guy I want to bring up and talk is Parker Rodimer, senior, number 17. Parker's a two-time or a two varsity letterer for us, played 2 years for us. He also was academic All-State this year. So let's give Parker a round of applause for academic All-State. You know, Parker was one of those guys that I know that we talk a lot as coaches, and I know that Coach Dantine really, well, we all do, but Coach Dantine really respected the heck out of Parker for everything he did for him. It's a thankless job sometimes when you're not the starter, and he wasn't the starter sometimes, you know. But that doesn't mean he didn't work extra hard in practice and make the team what they are. You know, we've heard of other teams, you know, and I think the cheerleader said it best when she said, you know, be thankful you have a winning football team, because it's no fun cheering for a losing team. And you have winning teams and winning programs and a winning culture because of guys like Parker. They, you know, we filled out goals last May, and one of his goals, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this, is he just wanted to catch a ball in the game. So he did. It was awesome. So Parker Rodimer, I'm good. Parker Rodimer. Gotcha. Thank you. No, we're good. Anyways, but Parker Rodimer, your humbleness makes coaching all the more special. So congratulations, Parker Rodimer. You are a state champion. Let me see that real quick. And I want you guys all to see. Everybody's like, what's in the bag? It's an 8x6 picture of me. All right. I just wanted to make everybody happy. It's me and Mr. Dantine hugging on the sidelines. No, this is why I get emotional with Mrs. Dantine. This is what the seniors will get this year. So every senior's going to get that blanket that Mrs. Dantine put together for them. Sorry about that. Yeah, hold yourself. Yeah, and the Moms Club also took care of them, and every senior is going to get one of these as well. Cut out of our metal shop. So what these guys have, like I said, they're not just given these. These were earned by these guys. So, you know, it's amazing. All right. Next guy I have up, Landon Zalowinski, number 12, senior. Oh, I said 12. I apologize. It was not 12. That was Woodward. That was my fault. I put the 12 for 12th grade. My fault. I'm good at that. Come on over here, Landon. So Landon has played football at Millington since he's been a youngster, man. And I remember him because him and Joe White, and I remember this, I'm thinking, they were not the biggest dudes, but I think it was Coach Turbush would yell, "Squirrels!" I'm like, what is he yelling squirrels about? What is he talking about? And sure enough, Joe White and Landon would come running out there, and they were playing D-line because nobody could block those two. They just couldn't block them. So Landon would play D-line and tear it up. And then, you know, as we got into high school ball, Landon had to transition from, he'd only ever played, you know, D-line for the most part. Now all of a sudden he's being asked to be a receiver, or he's been asked to be a defensive back. And he did a great job. You know, and I always say this about Landon. One thing you can say about Landon is he is going to look the best on the field out there at all times, man. So the one time I says, "Hey, you're in." He goes out there and the refs goes, "No, you ain't. You're out." I'm like, "What do you, I just put him in." He has no knee pads in, coach. I'm like, "Oh, man." So I chewed him all a little bit. I said, "Dude, get your knee pad," you know. But, you know, Landon's got a great personality, worked hard. I enjoyed having him out there, and I was so happy because I didn't know if he was going to come out this year. And at the end, next thing I know, he's there, and I'm glad you were here to experience this ride with all of us and to be a state champ and go down as, you know, being on the legendary team and cementing your legacy. Landon Zalowinski. Oh, Landon. My fault. Mr. Dantine, can you take Mr. Bove's spot? I mean, he's throwing me for a loop up here. All right, I guess that's getting old. I'll stop. All right, the next I have is Jordan Whitney, number 22, senior. Come on up, Jordan. Jordan and I got a pretty good relationship. I think, I hope. He knows. I ride him pretty good, and I'm on him a lot about some stuff, and he knows that. He knows I care about him, and I got a ton of respect for this guy because he's one that, here he is a senior year, and he didn't necessarily get to start all the time, but when I knew that he was selfless and had bought in, was in the playoffs where he was like, he took his role and his responsibility on that team so important, and it just, if you watch the opening kickoff of the state championship game, he's out there, he's jacked, and he's on that kickoff team. He knew, you know, what his responsibility was, what his role for this game was going to be, and how he was going to attack it, and he was just selfless. He never complained. He never, at least to me, he didn't. He worked his tail off, had some big games, so much so that he was player of the game for the Flint Southwestern game, had some touchdowns. You know, he's just a tough kid. And I've really, really enjoyed our time together, Jordan. And I'm going to miss you next year. Jordan Whitney. This is yours, my man. It's like Christmas up here, man. These guys are getting a lot of stuff. I know who's next. This guy here that I'm going to call up next has probably got one of the biggest personalities I've ever coached. And for that reason alone, I love this guy. Quinnell Tanner, get up here. Thank you for not disappointing, Quinnell. What can I say about Quinnell? He's a one-of-a-kind kid that he'd come over to my house in the summertime. He'd be spending the night out at my pool. And I'll never forget this. They got him in the pool, and there's like, you got Brevin in there, and you got Landon and Russell. And 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 I look out, and they've got Quinnell, and we have a hoop there, and they're getting ready. 1, 2. I'm like, no, you'll throw him out of the pool. And next thing you know, he's flying through the air, and he's like gonna dunk the basketball. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like lawsuit waiting to happen here. He made it. He made it. Yes, Quinnell is the guy that's the life of the party. I enjoyed having him on the team this year and last. I think he progressed a lot this year. He was starting at the beginning of the year for us, had a little setback but towards the end of the season. He worked hard. I know we say that he horses around a lot and does a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, Quinnell works hard, and we respected we respected him a lot, and we were happy to have him on our team this year. And yes, Quinnell, I'm going to miss you very much so next year. I enjoyed you keeping things light. Sometimes you took it a little too far and drove me nuts, but I think you enjoyed driving me nuts. I will say that. Quinnell Tanner, Sr. Next guy we have up, come on up, Caleb Lang. Caleb Lang, Sr. What's up, my man? Caleb played some O-line and D-line for us. Here's another guy I have a ton of respect for. I'll tell you a story about him when we were in the weight room this year, and I knew that Caleb had some goals that I think he did at least, because I think he had some goals about certain things he wanted to get done in the weight room. And it was awesome to see him reach those goals. And when he was benching the 225 a couple times, I knew he doesn't smile a lot. But when I saw that smile on his face after that, I knew this kid, he worked his tail off. And for that, like I said, us as coaches, we respect you for that so much so. And when you got your opportunities in the game, you did your thing. And I'll always respect you, Caleb. You were an inspiration to me. Like I said, I watched how hard you worked in the off season this past summer, and it was a joy to have you on this team. And always remember, you are going to be part of the team that did it and won a state championship here at Millington. Caleb Lang, everybody. Good job, bud. That's yours, bud. All right. Next up, just giving you a heads up, Autumn. Okay. No, I don't need you to keep it together, right? Because I can't be seen. I'm joking. All right, next up we have Zach Peters, number 52, senior. Mr. Crackback. Zach Peters. He was first team all-region, second team all-thumb offensive line, honorable mention, Saginaw News Dream Team, first team all-conference D-line and O-line. Quite the resume. Yes. Zach is another one of those guys that I personally witnessed and watched all the hard work he put in the offseason. And it's tough because he wrestles. And he'd be like, after last season, he's cutting weight. And I was, what are you doing? Cutting weight. Well, what? No, you're not. Stop that. No. But he has a passion with wrestling as well. So, and we love it. And I kind of give him a hard time, but, do what you got to do in your wrestling. And he's an outstanding wrestler. And if you noticed or not, he just got his 100th win recently. That's quite the feat in itself. So congratulations to you for that. Yes. And let me tell you, you don't get 100 wins in wrestling unless you're a hard worker. And that translates over onto the football field. All of his hard work. If you're familiar with the WWF, as when I grew up, no, not The Rock, be quiet. It's not that. If you are a real wrestling fan, you know it was the WWF back in the day. But it is WWE now. But I don't know how Brevin and Peters knew about this, but they would come in with these Hulk Hogan bandanas, and they would wear them in the weight room with sunglasses. Like, what are these two clowns doing? But that's what I was talking about, just the energy that provided in the weight room every day. And then I'd look over, and they got 450 pounds on the bar. I'm like, okay, you can wear that. Go ahead. And they just worked hard. And it, and it showed in the season with all his accolades, all the hard work that he put in, and you're going to be sorely missed, Zach. I know that you come a long way from last year. He was one of you juniors. He was one of the guys that didn't get a ton of playing time last year, and look at him now. He's first team. I mentioned dream team and all this. So hard work pays off. Zach Peters, senior. All right, I'm doing good. Owen Krieger, number 7, senior. Come on up. I'm not even going to talk about Owen. I'm going to let Owen do all the talking. Whoa. Owen is, I was worried. I was really, really worried that Owen wasn't going to get to play this year. So much, I was losing sleep. And Coach Gillen, myself, and Coach Santine, we would talk like, dude, man, we got to get Owen. Owen's got to get healthy. Owen's got to get healthy. And he wasn't sure either. And it took him a little bit. He had a knee injury. And, he didn't get to play. And I think he was cleared, and he could have went for the Cass City game, the first Cass City game. But I wasn't 100% ready to just throw him out there in a league championship game. And I think he was kind of like a little pissed with me. I'm sorry. But I think, he's all fired up that he didn't get in there, and he could have, but I wasn't quite ready, and I wasn't sure, and I think it actually ignited him and made him an even better player, because he's like, all right, I'm going to make sure that you play me in every game and never pull me out of a game, and he did just that. If you watched him, like I said, I always tell, Hugh Bernruder from the Saginaw News would say, you don't get enough stats for your kids. I'm like, because I play all my kids. We're not going to keep kids in the fourth quarter throwing the ball and doing all those things just to build stats. We don't do that at Millington. I said my kids will show up when it counts in big games. You can go out and mop up the field with some team that is inferior to you and build all your stats, or when you get in a big game and the big guys shine, okay? And that's what this guy did right here. I mean, think back to the PW game when he makes that catch and goes right in right before the, that broke their will right there. Or when they snap the ball high and Truck doesn't even know it's coming, throws it, he catches it, boom, right in stride. Or when he goes into the state finals game, he makes a bunch of catches. He was kind of the unheard of guy because he missed some of the season. But he was all-conference second-team wide receiver, and he did so much in that finals game that he was recognized as the Detroit News honorable mention all-state wide receiver, Owen Krieger. So congratulations, Owen. You're a state champ. Just a little backstory on the hair. His mom come over and did that hair for anybody that wanted to. I told him, do not have to do this if you don't want to. I was fully set on dyeing my hair blonde. Totally I was. I'm honest until Coach Dantine said, I ain't doing it. I said, you shaved your head last year. I know that was for a great cause. He's like, dude. He goes, I'm not dyeing my hair. That's why we didn't dye our hair. It was because of Coach Dantine. He goes, dude, everybody's going to see this for many, many years. It's going to be on YouTube. That's what I said. See, I was going to have Coach Gillum dye his hair, but that would have...
I thought you were going to blame it on me.
I better stand over here. I don't know if I feel safe up here right now. I'm on some people's hit list. I love it. All right, next. Who do I have next? Oh, all right. Dustin Esterline, affectionately known as Duddy. The name says it all. I mean, Duddy. And he was another one that he gave me quite the scare this summer. A couple things. I wanted him to be able to play his senior year, and he had a hernia. Hope you don't mind me sharing that. But I think everybody knew that. It's common knowledge. But and we weren't sure, and so it was like, well, we're going to be able to do this, and we can see him in a month. I'm like, his season starts in 6 weeks or whatever it was. I can't remember. But, his parents were able to help him. We were able to get him so that he could. I did not want to see this guy miss his senior year of football. I know how hard he worked. I know how much it meant to him. I know how much he meant to the team. We needed Dustin. Whether he realized it or not, Dustin was like a silent leader that kids just respected him. A, because he's very strong and he's intimidating, but B, because they just respected him and his character of how hard he works. So having Dustin on the field, it was a calming effect. If you just watch the state championship game where Truck gets crunched and kind of maybe fumbled, it was a fumble, right at the goal line, and he's hurting and his arm goes numb, he's laying there. Who's the first one there, over top of him, pushing people away? It was Dustin. That's just how this guy is. He's the ultimate teammate, and he would have had more accolades, I believe, had he not had to miss the first 4 games. But he was still noticed and was second team all-conference offensive line. He's the strongest kid on the team. Yes, Dallas. Pound for pound, Duddy got you. He's the strongest. Okay. And that was just the rivalry we had. It was good stuff that they would push each other, and then you had guys pushing to try to keep up with these guys. And, Dustin, it was great coaching you. And I remember, and I've said this before, when you were walking through the halls and I'm thinking this kid's going to have to play football. And I bugged you for 2 years and I'm glad you came out, man. Dustin Esterline. Thanks, Chris. This guy here, he might have as big a personality as Quinnell. I'm not sure. It's up there. Yeah, I hear him. Landon Russell, get on up here, buddy. I love these guys. I think it was Tom, right? You brought it up, the fact that we've known of Landon Russell, and we knew he played Little League baseball with us, and we'd always joke, hey, it'd be nice to see you over here, but whatever. He went his way, we went our way, and then lo and behold, some stuff happened over there, and he's here with us. And I remember we were talking, Coach Santino. I'm like, whoa, this guy could, he's going to help us. He's going to help us. But you always wonder, how will these new guys fit in? He's coming in. My Landon's going to lose carries now. But that doesn't matter. When the ultimate goal is to win, it don't matter where you're coming from, who you are, what your last name is. If you're going to be a contributor, you're here. Let's do this. Let's roll. And that's what he did. He stepped in from day one, knew what he wanted to do, knew what was expected of him. He fit right in. He's at my house a lot. I got a nice video of him, I think about 2 weeks ago, snoring on my couch. It was pretty good stuff. But no, he was first team all-region. Amber mentioned Saginaw News Dream Team. First team all-conference running back. Second team all-conference linebacker. AP Amber mentioned all-state. Detroit News Amber mentioned all-state. Had he not gotten that little bit of an injury there towards the end of the season, that high ankle sprain, that it was just miserable for him. That when you're a running back and you have a high ankle sprain, it takes away a lot of your ability to cut and to move. So he just had to rely on just that straightforward speed, which you could tell in the state finals when he got that hole and it was gone. Landon Russell I'm just glad that he came here to Millington, and he will forever be known as a state champ. And Landon Russell, senior, number 8, and he was also player of the game for Reese, so he's going to get one of those as well. Landon Russell, everybody. All right. Number 2, Bryce Martin, get up here. He's got like this, I don't know if it's suede, velour, whatever it is. If I wasn't so husky, I'd probably put it on, but I'm a little chubby. So it's good. But Bryce Martin, first team all-region, second team all-thumb defensive back. Amber mentioned Saginaw News Dream Team, first team all-conference defensive back and wide receiver, and Michigan High School Football Coaches Association, first team all-state wide receiver. That's quite the list for a guy, and I love it when people try to judge him on his size. I'm like, go ahead. Judge him on his size and see what happens. And in all my 26 years of coaching, I've never had as an explosive of a return man, punt return, kickoff return, as Bryce Martin. And when people, I love it when they underestimated him just because of his size, because that's what he loves that. He absolutely loves it. And probably one of my most favorite plays of the season was the North Muskegon game. Truck drops back. He's got all day to throw. He's just waiting. He's waiting. And they're rushing 3. They've dropped 8 guys, literally. They've got 6 guys on the goal line. And Bryce sneaks in behind him and Truck right over top. Boom, touchdown. Final nail in the coffin, sending us to Ford Field. And let's not forget about the hook and ladder that he had in that game. Having that game for Bryce was pretty amazing, so much so that he was able to get player of the game that game, and not only was he player of the game for the North Muskegon game, he was also player of the game for the Birch Run game. Bryce, it's been an honor coaching you, and I know you're going to be, you got basketball going and golf, so just keep grinding, my man, keep grinding. Bryce Martin. All right. Oh, Bryce, forgot this. Booby. All right, next we got Jacob Faluti, number 54, senior. Come on up. Jacob's another guy that when he came over in middle school, I was like, sweet. I knew of his dad, and I knew his, the family name from, Lakeville, and I knew that he was a baller, man. I was so excited when I heard he was coming over in the middle school, and we would talk as dads. We would talk like, man, we're going to have something special someday, and dads, guess what? We had something special. Jacob was first team all-region, first team all-thumb O-line, second team all-thumb D-line, first team all-conference O-line, honorable mention all-conference D-line, and first team all-state coaches association offensive line. Not a bad resume, Jake. It's, watching the state finals game, and I think it was that Grant Perry's like, look at Jacob Flutie go down three gaps, wasn't it? You think 3 gaps. And I swear to you, this guy must have watched like highlights from how to do the appropriate dance or like celebration after a big play. There's one of my favorite plays of the game is he's crawling on like he's an Army guy after he makes a big tackle. It was pretty priceless. But that's how he played. Jacob could get ornery. Trust me, he can get ornery, and but that's what makes him who he is out there in the football field. To say he was a dude is to be an understatement. He was a big cog for us. And I'm not going to lie to you, like a lot of schools, he probably would have been a running back or whatnot. And Jacob accepted his role. And he told me before the season, Coach, I don't care where you play me. I just want to win. And for that, I'm so happy that he was able to earn all those accolades individually for his selflessness and giving up, what he, some of the positions he thought he should have played. He took his job, and he did it well, and I'm very proud of you, Jacob. Congratulations, you are a state champ. That's yours. Come on up, Brevin. Let's go. I look up to this man, figuratively and literally. I look up to this guy for a couple things. First, his work ethic is second to none. I've had kids that work hard, and all these guys do, but I don't know if you could ever find anybody that will outwork Brevin. And I think it's because his dad, they had that special bond and how hard they worked together. It was priceless. It was good. So for all your hard work there, Brevin, you are all region first team, all thumb first team, tight end, D end, Saginaw News Dream Team first, all conference first team, defense and offense, Detroit Free Press all state first team, Associated Press first team all state, Coaches Poll first team all state, and Detroit News all state first team. No wonder Northwood University wanted you so bad. He is going to be attending Northwood University, and I know that signing's coming up soon, and I hope that you guys are all up there to help him celebrate and his his hour of, and if you know Brevin at all, he doesn't like us talking about him like this, but too bad, Brevin. This is one time you have to sit here and you have to take this and you have to be, you deserve this, bud. All your hard work. You were a leader both on and off the field. And it's been a pleasure coaching you over the years, and I wish you nothing but the best moving forward, and I can't wait to watch you tear it up. Coach Danteen's alma mater, Saginaw Valley, in the coming years. It's going to be great watching that happen. He was also player of the game for Carroll, and so Brevin Hendricks, everybody. I still remember in youth, and I just remember this, or I would have said it when you were up here, but when we'd go to youth games, and Brev would be over there, and he's just a little skinny guy, and he'd have a mohawk. And I was like, oh, yeah. Send Brev out there first, just to psych the other team out with his mohawk. I loved it. Hey, Brev, any chance we can get a mohawk again? No? Okay. It was worth a shot. Coach Danteen? He's not happy with me. All right, next up. Number 5, Dallas Walsh. Come on up, dude. Oh, yeah. I got to take a couple minutes here because I got to list off all of his accolades. AEP D7 Player of the Year. It's never happened to Millington to have a Associated Press Player of the Year statewide. Okay, that's something in its own. He was also first team All-State Associated Press, and he was the captain. He's Coaches Association, first team All-State, Free Press, All-State, Detroit News, All-State, All-Conference first team, Saginaw News, Dream Team, Thumb Player of the Year, first team All-Thumb, first team All-Region. He was Player of the Game for both of the Lakers game and North Muskegon. Dallas broke multiple school records, and Dallas is gifted athletically. I mean, he's very talented, but let's not forget how hard Dallas worked to get to where he is. Dallas is just he's a workaholic. In other kids, we were at the basketball game, and Truck can help me on this one. We're playing Lakers last week, and the JV kids are playing, and Truck comes walking by, and I see him lean down. This kid nudges to him. The kid's on the bench playing in the game, and he Truck's walking and get ready for the varsity game, and the kid nudges him. Truck leans down, and I said, well, what did the kid want? Truck's like, he wants Dallas's autograph. I'm like, are you serious? Am I lying, Truck? No, I'm telling you. So, yeah. And Coach Danteen's like, Dallas is like wanted by a lot of people. I'm like, what do you mean? The little kids down in the elementary school, they are like, they want him for their reading buddy, their lunch buddy, and they want all the kids, but Dallas just has that certain charisma about him. It's that cheesy smile he's got. See, there it is. I'm telling you. But no, I've watched this kid grow up as I've watched all these guys grow up. And, I could tell story after story after story about this guy. I am going to tell one. We're playing in Little League Baseball, and Coach Turbush he's all about baseball. And I'm like, all right. And I'd watch, and I'm like, ah. And he's pitching to Dallas, and Dallas hits the hardest line shot I've ever seen right back at old Joel, and boom, down goes Joel. I'm like, oh, my God, he's dead. He's dead because this kid could hit a ball, and he smashed old poor Joel. And I'm like, whoa. That's exactly why I'm not out there. But Dallas is another guy that he's committed to go to play college football, and it's been a dream of his since I've known him, and I've known him since he's been 5 years old. He's been in the locker room because he was Roger Beers' nephew, so he's been around the program his whole life. And to see him get to fulfill his dream to go on and play at the next level, it's like it's amazing. So Dallas, we wish you nothing but the best at the next level, and remember. And the Axe Bowl, make sure that you guys are carrying on the tradition of beating Coach Danteen's Saginaw Valley State University. Here you go, big dog. Come on up, Truck. Truck Turbush. Looking good, my man. Looking good. I'll start with some of Truck's stuff. I mean, I know he had I know he wanted to be just as known for not only being a defensive back, but also a quarterback. And I felt bad, like I said, because there were games I let him throw the ball 3 times and he didn't play in the second half. And a lot of these awards are based solely on stats. And I'm like, jeez, man. But it's also important for me to get everybody in the game because that's how you build a good culture. And people are out there and he was fine. He never said a word to me, at least to my face. But I don't think he did. He didn't care. He just wants to win. And win, we did. And when it come time, though, when the games happened, and when we went to the Cass City game in the playoffs, and they were not going to let us run all over them. They were not going to. Okay, we'll just throw all over you. And he threw for 4 touchdowns. I think he completed 16 passes in a row for like 250 some yards. And for, like I said, there's games where I'd let him throw the ball 3 times and not let him run, and he'd be like, ugh. Or I'd set up a play in practice, and I'd say, all right, let's get the heavies in, and Jermaine and Russell, you guys are going to run. He'd like roll his eyes like, dude, I can run better than those. I'm faster than both those two. But that's just how he is competitive. But he didn't say nothing. He just kept grinding. And for that, he was all-thumb first-team defensive back and quarterback. And by the way, he led the state of Michigan with interceptions this year with 8. He was all-region defensive back, Saginaw News Dream Team defensive back, first-team all-conference D-back quarterback, AP All-State first-team quarterback, Coaches All-State first-team defensive back, and then flipped back over to the Detroit News, and he was first-team All-State quarterback. And that's after playing quarterback on the varsity for 1 year. He was receiver his sophomore year and his junior year. And he just sat back and waited, and then he took over. And from this point forward, he will always be my QB1. And there's been some good ones, trust me. There's been some good quarterbacks come through here, and you did it, Truck. Yeah, state champs. Kept it together. I'm good.
Save the waterworks for last.
There's a reason Landon's last. No, it's good. Landon, come up. I'm joking. And last year I got in trouble. My wife goes, you are not talking about Landon this year. I'm like, why? You were too short with him last year, so you will not do it. I can do this. I'm good. I think it's important that, that's what these guys mean to me, all of these guys. So Landon was all-region first-team linebacker, defensive player of the year for the Thumb, first-team linebacker, all-Thumb, Saginaw News first-team linebacker, Dream Team, first-team all-conference linebacker, Detroit Free Press first-team all-state, AP all-state second-team, coaches first-team all-state, and Detroit News second-team all-state. And he was player of the game for the Cass City game with 11 tackles. He got banged up a couple times earlier on this year in the Shepherd game. I don't even know what he did. He just come out, my foot is his. So he had to miss most of the Shepherd game with a bum heel, and then he had to miss all the Sandusky game. And as a father, not as a coach, but as a father, you watch all the hard work that he's put in, and you're thinking to yourself, man, he's missing so much. You don't get this time back. You just don't get it back. So when he was able to come back and play, and then fulfill the season he had and be with his buddies and his teammates, and they got to do what they did. And then we get into the North Muskegon game, and a fluke thing happens. He gets hurt. He comes off, and I'm like, Bud, you're going to be okay. You're all right. And his brothers were there, and we're doing everything we can. It's just blunt force trauma. You're fine. It's like, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And he went out and he tried to play in the second half. And it just wasn't going to happen. And I wasn't going to make him go out there and have the team lose because I got to play daddy ball and keep my kid out there. So we sat him, and other people stepped up, and we won the game, and we're going on to Ford Field. And I often thought, like, man, was this what I had to pay the price, was to let him get hurt to make it to, you're in your mind, you play all these different scenarios out in your head. But, all week long, he worked his leg, and we had him going to treatments, and then he plays in the game, and about 2 minutes before the game, I'm like, can you go or not? He's like, I don't know. He had tears in his eyes, and he's like, I don't know. I said, well, if you can't, Drake's got you. Just go out there and give it one series. And then adrenaline took over, and he played, and we shut the kids out, and we get done, and it's euphoric. We're having a great time, and his brothers are there. It was a very special moment for me to be there with my sons, all three of them. But we get done, and we, the celebration and all that stuff, and we get talking on Sunday, and I'm like, hey, we got to go to the doctor so we can do some physical therapy. And then they demanded he get before they do physical therapy, we got to do the leg, and then we find out it was broken, and it's just from then on, I'm like, well, I guess you got some good stories to tell, bud. You played on a broken leg, and so then of course Coach Dantine's like, well, I'm turning you into CPS. Multiple times, but no, it is as his dad and my youngest coming through, this was it for, having him come, and I was able to coach all three of my boys, and us as coaches think of all of you guys as our boys. What I'm going to miss most is just Quinnell and all you guys at my house and all the good times we had. So you guys will still be around. It was just, you guys made all of our dreams come true, and it's been very special, and it's just, thank you. I want to thank you guys, and go Cardinals. You're a state champ, Landon. And the sad thing is he looked at me like, get this over with, man. I'm over it now. I'm good. Coach Bishop's over there. He's laughing at me. You can blubber up there. I said, no, I'm not. I did good. I had a tissue. I did pretty good. I held it together. But no, seriously, though, I do have some not closing remarks yet, because we do have just a little bit more. And we often talk like, do we separate? Coaches all give out. And it wasn't me like, oh, I want to do all the talking. No, it wasn't. It was more those guys didn't want to do the talking. But no, we do have a couple more awards we're going to hand out. But before we do that, I do want to give Coach Dantine an opportunity. I know that he puts in tireless amounts of time into this, and I know that these kids mean as much to him as they do to me. So I'd like to let him say a few words to you guys real quick, and then come on up, Coach Dantine. So come on up here, because Coach Dantine and I have been coaching together since 2009. We're on quite the run. We don't talk. I'm going to talk a little bit about our run together that we've had. We've been doing this since 2009 together, and we've made the playoffs every year. And in that year, however many years it is, like 15, 16 years in a row, we've only lost the opening round of the playoffs once. And that's a tribute to him and how hard he pushes me and our players. So I want to give Coach Dantine a round of applause, everybody.
I didn't know I was going to say anything, so I don't really have much to say. The only thing I can guarantee you is I'm not a very emotional guy, so I won't need any tissues up here. Mr. Germain is our doctor, Phil. We can get a little crazy on the sidelines sometimes, so he's got a lot to manage. The only thing that comes to mind is thanking the players. For 18 years, I've been in Millington, and it's really a dream come true. I do text Bowlesby all the time. I'm like, dude, I watched the state finals again. It means so much. And after every season, and it sounds corny, I'll never watch our last game. I get so irritated about losing. I'm competitive. Everybody's competitive. And this time it's different. I got some weird things that happen. I'll sit down at night and think like, this is a weird story, but I'll close my eyes and I'll listen to Bowlesby's thing, and I'll pretend like I wasn't at the state finals and like I don't know what's happening next. Like what the kids did, I know that's weird. I shouldn't even have shared that. But what they did, it was a dream come true, and I'm so thankful for the journey that they've taken me on. I think the last thing that I'd like to say just in closing is to really recognize Coach Germain. He came up here. The thing that I see from afar, because he's probably my best friend at school, is he opens his whole life to kids. If you guys don't know this, the kids on Friday nights and Grandma Susu cooks, and then everybody's over at his house. I go over there in the summer sometimes. I'm like, there's like 7 kids in your pool. It's Quinnell. It's just random people. Like when you're talking about somebody who takes it more than just coaching, it's building relationships. And that's so cliche, but if you see it day in and day out, he is all about the kids of Millington, and I feel like he stands up here and recognizes everybody else. So one more time, please give it up for our head coach of the year, Coach Germain.
These other special awards too. Me and Gillum are handing these out. Then we're done.
Mr. Beauvais just kind of whispered in my ear that he's likely going to call school off due to the low temperatures impending.
Only if it's okay with the board president. We have a couple more awards to give, and these are very special team awards. So I know that we get a lot of recognition from outside of the program, but these are, given by the coaches, and they're for very special purposes and roles that these players fulfill on the team. Before I do hand these awards out, though, I did want to make sure, that I told the team and the players, how important you are all to me. I don't want to waste that moment to say that. I know that from all the other times I've talked that you know that. But I also want to go back to one of the things I said to you before the first game. And I told you that, with any program, the program, will go ahead and will leave a mark on you, but you will also leave a mark on the program. So when you look at all the teams in the past and all the teams that are yet to come, you have left a mark on the program. But also, I want you to understand, we don't have a moniker, once a Cardinal, always a Cardinal, for no reason. There's a reason behind that, because now that you've been a part of this, wherever you go in your life, this will always be a part of you too. You might go through a tough time someday in your life, and there's gonna be different times where you feel lonely and different times where you might doubt yourself. And I don't want you to doubt yourself for a minute, because you guys are state champs and you're part of something bigger than yourself. And the other thing I want to say is wherever you are next year, I know that whenever August comes around, even if it's 20, 30 years from now, your thoughts are always going to come back to Millington High School and the team and the team and the team and the role that you played in being state champs. So I know next year, I don't know where you're going to go. I wish you the best of luck, whether you're in the workforce, whether you're in the military, whether you end up going to college. I know, though, when that first practice rolls around, your thoughts are going to go back. And no matter where you are, you're going to think about Millington football on that day and on all the years for the rest of your life. So, again, like I said, you left your mark on that team, but the team left a mark on you. I have a couple of team awards to give, and they're to the offensive linemen and defensive linemen. I'm very, very privileged to be an offensive line and defensive line coach along with Coach Henderson. Takes a special kind of person to play offensive line. I know, right, even when we get together with lineman workouts, one of the first things we talk about is how selfless it is to be an offensive lineman. You have to sacrifice yourself every single play. I know sometimes if you're a back, a lot of times you're not going to take the hits. You're not going to make a hit every single play. When you are on the line, though, you will get hit over 100 times a game if you start both ways. So it takes a very special kind of person, a person that's going to go ahead and sacrifice their body for the team. And, another thing we always talk about is we always talk about, like, on the highlight films and everything like that. How many times do you ever see, like, a close-up of an offensive lineman making a pancake block in a highlight film? Hardly ever. Maybe if the back ends up happening to score a touchdown on that play. So a lot of times, the backs will get the accolades, but it's the offensive linemen that paved the way. And that's why, one of the other mottos of our offense and defensive line is so goes the line, so goes the game. And that was very, very true down the stretch. I can't tell you, offensive, defensive line, how proud I am of you. One thing I do before I go to bed after every game is I just watch the line. And I can't tell you how excited I was down the stretch to just see you guys just completely dominate the other team. As far as the coach's expectations, I mean, I still get like goosebumps over this, but during the week, we just told you the entire time, so goes the line, so goes the game. And then to actually see you guys go out there, especially in the state championship game, and just completely demoralize and shut them down, that's what I'm talking about. That's Millington football. So of all the teams that come before, that's Millington football. So as far as the awards I have, though, I'd like to call up Caleb Lang first. Caleb, please come up. Caleb didn't always play football. He came out last year and he was brand new. And, Coach Germain has already told you about his exploits in the weight room and some of the goals that he had for himself and all of the work that he put in on his own time to be a part of the team and to be a contributor and to become a great player. The award that he ended up getting for the team awards is the Unsung Hero Award. As far as looking at, the economics of the situation, we can only start 22 people. We have 5 offensive linemen start and 4, sometimes 5 defensive linemen start. So, a lot of times, you might have a goal of starting, but then when you end up getting on a team that is full of stars, then it makes it even tougher to be a starter. And, when we look around at the other teams in the league and the coaches look at film, we realize that we have guys on our team that could have started on the other teams in the league, on just about any other team in the thumb. That's how good of a program we have. But, you were in Millington, and you contributed to the program, and you showed up every single day. And another thing that the coaches always said about you is just how hard you tried when you were on the scout teams. You were never off of the field at practice. A lot of times that's where you got your snaps, but you made it count. And when you see how far the team went, that was because of you and all of the effort you put in on the scout team defensive line and scout team offensive line. So down the stretch, that you're a big reason why we're state champs. And another thing we always talk about as coaches is we always talk about, just a lot of different life lessons. And, we always tell the people, our players, to always keep your composure. Whether you get what you want or whether you don't get what you want, you just continue to work hard, and eventually something will go your way. So it eventually went your way in the form of a state championship. Good job. Good job. The next award that I'm going to hand out is the Earl Green Award. Would Dustin Esterline please come up? What can I say about Duddy? I love you. Through all the years, there's only been a couple different people that have been in my position group for 4 years. Zach Peters and Dustin Esterline. Coached you all the way since you were a freshman. I've just had a lot of respect for you. And I remember over the summertime, there was this doubt, this hanging in the balance of whether Duddy would be able to play or not. And, fortunately, I'm very, very happy that he got to play. In the end, he had to miss a couple games, and I think that might have stopped you from getting some of the other accolades. But the thing about Duddy is Duddy was not in it for the honors. Duddy wouldn't have cared if he was All-State. Duddy, the reason he played was to demoralize the guy across from him, to beat him every play, to hunt him down and knock him on the ground, as long as it's before the whistle. But when I was watching the film, like I said, before I go to bed at night, there were a lot of times where there'd be a play and the ball would be down the field and the whistle wasn't blowing yet, and Duddy be locked up with his guy. And you knew for sure if Duddy was locked up with his guy during the play that guy was going down. And, when I look at, all of the different teams we've coached, I just look at how tough you are. People like you are few and far between. I think there's something about you, where you just have that toughness and that comes out on the field. And I was very, very, happy to have been your coach for the last 4 years. I love you. Thank you. When I was telling the team before the Cass City game that I just want to see that rage come out, that's what I'm talking about.
Thanks. Our next award, sorry about that. It's going to be the Ken Kennedy Award. And Ken Kennedy was a generous donor and a devoted supporter of Millington football. This award is presented to a player who embodies dedication, versatility, and an unselfish commitment to the team. And I'd like to bring up senior Jordan Whitney. Jordan fully embraced his role on special teams, showing his dedication to the team's success. He stepped in as needed at running back, fullback, linebacker, and he proved his versatility, and he always had a team-first attitude. His willingness to adapt and contribute in multiple roles exemplifies the spirit of this award. And, Jordan is his selflessness and his commitment to the team were instrumental to our success this season. And we're very proud to recognize him as the recipient of the Ken Kennedy Award. Thank you, Jordan. Our next award is going to be the Cardinal Attitude Award. The Cardinal Attitude Award is presented to a player who exemplifies exceptional character, a positive attitude, and a commitment to contributing to the team and program in any way possible. I'd like to bring up senior Parker Rodimer. Parker fully embraced his role on the team. He demonstrated an outstanding attitude and an unwavering positivity. He loved being a part of the program and was always ready to step in and fill any role needed. His team-first mindset and willingness to contribute in any capacity reflects the true spirit of this award. And Parker's dedication and positive presence were a cornerstone for our team's culture. And Coach Germain touched on that earlier, and we're just really proud to honor him with the Cardinal Attitude Award. Thank you. Our next award is our Most Improved Player. And the Most Improved Player award is given to a player who has demonstrated remarkable growth, commitment, and development throughout the season, both on and off the field. I'd like to bring up senior Quinnell Tanner. You know, Quinnell embraced his role at receiver. You know, he worked extremely hard to improve his skills throughout the season. You know, he did face quite a bit of adversity with surgery later in the year. He maintained a great personality, and he brought humor to the team every day. I don't think there was a day that went by that he didn't get under Dallas's skin in friendly banter. Correct, Dallas? Yeah, Dallas had tears in his eyes, so he's not as tough as you think he is. No, we love you, Dallas. But, you know, Quinnell, his ability to lighten the mood and even push buttons in a fun way it made the season memorable for the whole team. And I think every practice was extremely enjoyable when we were clicking and things were going smooth, and Q definitely made that possible. And we just want to let you know that his growth, his resilience, and his positive presence were invaluable to our team's success this season. We're excited to recognize him as our Most Improved Player. You know, the next award goes to it's our Special Teams Award. And the Special Teams Award is given to a player who made a significant impact in the often overlooked but crucial aspects of special teams. It is a third of the game, and we practice them every day. There was never not a practice where we didn't put a lot of time into it, and this player demonstrated skills, consistency, and poise, helping the team gain an edge in field position and game control. I'd like to bring up junior Lane Jones. You know, Lane excelled as our kicker, our punter. You know, he had a powerful leg. You know, you combine that with our dominant defense, it allowed us to win field position battles and control games throughout the entire season. And that was his performance in the state championship game was especially impactful. He had a perfect executed punt that pinned the ball inside, it was about the 1-inch line, about as close as you can get it. And then a clutch 25-yard field goal. I think it's 5 feet narrower from the left hash for a right-legged kicker. That was pretty impressive. He was very consistent on kickoffs, field goals, and extra points. And Lane's contributions on special teams were a game changer this season, and his ability to deliver in high-pressure situations helped propel us to success. We're honored to present Lane Jones with the Special Teams Award. Thank you. You know, just real quick, I do want to, I think I wrote this a couple days after the state finals. There was just a lot of emotion. I think all the players and coaches, you know, you go through a phase. This is my 26-year coaching, and to be able to start and finish it all the way through, it was just a great experience, you know, and I just wanted to share this with the guys because, you know, I think it's important to let them know the impact that you've had on my life too. So this season we defined the odds, we made history together. Our journey to Ford Field was not just about the destination, it was about the grit, heart, and unity that got us there. When the world doubted us, we believed in each other. When challenges arose, we leaned in, fought harder, and never gave up. Winning the state championship is more than a trophy or a title. It's a testament to what happens when a team comes together, trusts the process, and gives everything they've got for the brotherhood beside them. This victory is for every rep we took, every challenge we overcame, and every dream we refused to let go of. Remember this moment, not just for the glory, but for the lessons it taught us. Champions are not made under bright lights. They're forged in the hours of hard work, resilience, and heart. Congratulations to every one of you. You're more than champions, you're legends. Let this be a chapter of pride in the story of your lives, and know that we built this together, forever bonded as a team, as a family. Thank you, and go Cardinals.
I should let him talk the whole time. Jeez, who laughed at that? I'm just joking. Okay, closing remarks. I know it's a little long, but you know what? These guys deserve this. So, and I know as parents, you were happy to be here, and it flew by. And weight room. Games are not one starting now. Games are one starting now, not in June, July, and August. To the underclassmen in this room right now, the torch has been passed on to you. The next few months will determine the success of this program moving forward in the 25 season. Next year at this time, you will only have the memories, so the time is now. We open up, in case you didn't know, we open up with Reese at Atwood Stadium for the Vehicle City Classic. Then we go to Standish. Then we have our conference schedule. Then we're in Buchanan, which is on the Indiana-Michigan border. Then we go to Detroit Country Day, and then we host Harbor Beach. When you win state championships, nobody will play you. It's hard to find games, but we will be up for the challenge. Let me tell you that. These guys will be ready. They will work hard. So make sure, guys, you just heard our schedule. You guys got to be ready to work hard, and I know you will. To the seniors, thank you for making my 26th season as a coach here at Millington the most special year of my coaching career. You truly made my dream of a state championship a reality. Please know what you have done for this program and the legacy that you have left. You won back-to-back district championships, back-to-back regional championships, along with the program's first ever state championship. You have cemented yourselves as the most successful class to ever walk the halls of Millington Community Schools. In your 2 years on varsity, you went 26-1. You can leave here tonight knowing that out of all the great teams in Millington history, yes, Woody, all of them, your team will simply be known as state champs. Thank you, and always remember, once a Cardinal, always a Cardinal. Love you guys. 24 out. I do need the players up here, all of you. There's probably never going to be a day when we're all going to be in the same room together. I want you up here for a quick photo op with the trophies. Right over here, actually. Right over here. I'm sorry, parents. We'll get them out of here. And the guys that did not get these posters, please take one. They were the younger kids, please. But let's get just picture right here. I know that they needed it. Pile in right here.
Where's your speech at, bro? We didn't get a Posey speech. Sit down. I gotta get up here. Say testing, testing.
Hello, everyone.
Come on, pose.
All right. Daddy, go.
Hey, where's Riker Wallace?
Do it. Let's go. Riker Wallace, who?
Who invited Riker Wallace's party?
Yeah, it's like we're
Slide down there, guys. Get in there.
Yes.
So look at this guy in front of me. Hidden behind Fufu.
You get a good one from the center, please. Hey, you guys can kind of sneak in there. Go right in there. Just bend down a bit.
I don't think we're being seen.
Here we go, guys. We'll get you out of here.
Is that Chuck?
I don't like that.